Well then, that's come fucking great, isn't it? Amazing. Do you know what, right? Thing is, I knew that I was doing something stupid by pressing the intro button while there were active resubs coming through. And yet, I did it anyway. And now it's cut straight to me automatically and I didn't press anything. Amazing. I guess I'll just push this button, don't I? You just knew that was going to happen. The Vikings. VAR says, in fact, it's a penalty against Fulham and Everton have been deducted 10 points, I'm afraid. Hello, chat. What a start. It's just as well, really, because now I don't have to worry about saying anything during the intro. You've all said it for me. Like, you fucked it. That's all you need to say. Solid process, indeed. TSRT, though, thank you for the 42 months. Paul Hillshrew, thank you for the 27 months and the Regan Booty shout out. And Rocky Dan, thank you very much for the 12. And Don after that with the 25 as well. Holy shit. I should have. Thing is, I should have known. Normally I know and I just leave it. But no.
At
Coming
least
up today,
until the
nothing.
next game is on, I'm ahead of you in the club league and second in total, which is funny because I needed shenanigans to even start playing the game in the first place.
But you're smashing it. And that's the main thing. Yes, that's gone well. Yeah, so apologies to our Down Under friends. So it appears there was a bit of shenanigans with Good Daylight Savings Time. And I hadn't considered that today, basically. We've got to a flurry of messages being like, is there a stream today? And I'm like, yes, of course there is. I'm just sat in bed because it's 9 a.m. on a Sunday. And then I realised, Voice Manager Fighter, no chance. See you later, TSRT. Just came to sabotage and I'm off. I respect that kind of hustle. It's like walking into a shop and just throwing a lit match. And why would Bente? It's that symbol next to your name. Thank you very much for the 44 months. I'm always curious when I see new symbols.
I got 2603 at Park Run yesterday.
Fuck yes. I've not run in a week, which is annoying. I think I'm just going to start a new plan tomorrow and just kind of go back around again. How did you get that? I always love seeing random things in chat like that. I'm like, ooh, pretty colours. Pog's gone to get some coffee on this beautiful day. Bloody in it, though. Like, who are we saving daylight for? I don't need it. I live inside now. Crazy. Right, off this. What's that? Raging. So it's just adding stuff to confuse me at this stage. Got a gift to someone last week that was playing Sonic Crosswords. Wow, that's really specific. I saw that when I logged into Twitch today, it popped up in chat with this thing to do with like Duolingo or something. Yeah, we'll do like till 1 today, Quinn, because I think that's what's happened, because usually when there's like F1 at Singapore, I swear it normally starts the same time UK time, but I guess because of like scheduling or something and the daylight savings in things, it's an hour earlier or something, or I just forgotten what it was like before. Either way, yeah, we'll go to 1. Pog's back for the 7th time. How's it going? Yes?
Yes.
Good.
I'm gonna go get.
Yeah. And why is the game playing automatically? Whoa.
And was wrong. He did win something in his first season. The record for the worst start as a Forest manager in history. I don't think you get a trophy for that, unfortunately. Newcastle, Chelsea and Porto next. Bring on the continual misery. Happy Sunday, lol.
I read that as continental misery, which is fine. Yeah, it's not gone well, has it, so far? Is this one of these things where Ange just becomes like the gateway for your next manager who's actually good? Because it just seems like what Ange can do, it cuts at... Oh, FM pre-order. If you do exclamation mark 26, Quimby, it should pop up in chat with like a thingy that lets you click through, and it should, if I've done it correctly, automatically do the code. But it might not. And if it doesn't, then there's a code in the link as well. Yeah, I got an email about the Twitch Prime Amazon thing as well, and I don't really understand what they were even trying to say. There's no manager out there. I mean, there's a few. Technically, we're all... If you think about it like this, much like most thrones throughout Europe, technically, at somewhere, a lot of us are still technically in line for it. I realise that isn't how it works, because there was like some law passed that meant that it only went down to like, I don't know, you had to all be related to one certain person or some bollocks like that. Point being, we're all technically in line for the Forest job. At some state. Moonfuckery game. I saw something to do with Luna. So, whatever that's supposed to mean. Yeah, but like Australian daylight savings time is different. As I learn every single year and never remember. I'm always thinking, it's around this sort of time of year that it happens. And it catches me out every single season. Season? I don't know why this guy's name just... Will O'Reilly. From Hythe. Nice. I was going to say, you've got all the sun as it is. Hi. This is why we have money around. For players like this guy. I realise he's Japanese, and that's unhelpful to us because of non-EU. But who's this lad here? Arata Okuhama. AMC. Ooh, I mean, okay. I'm very curious about him. Very curious. Cole Pineda still at Villa. You're at Napoli, annoyingly. Wait, 37 million for a guy that's playing for Atletico Paranaense. Basil, thank you for the 38 months.
Hello Matto, back as a sub. Smile, hope to meet you next week if possible, and if not, I'm good anyway. At some point I hope to make your top 4 in Danish people with esteemed company like SAS, Kermrud and Joachim Andersen. Smile.
Huge fan of Joachim Andersen. To be honest, even if you'd spelled that perfectly, I don't think Streamliner would have had a clue. And also, you are one of the best Danes. Anyone else Danish in chat want to throw their hat in the ring there? Their big Danish hat. Gazman, thank you for the 31
months. And many more to go. FM26 hype.
I tell you what, after stream on Thursday, and I'd had a little chance to look through the blog post properly, because I always like, there you go, Froggy, number 5. We've heard of Mambo, number 5. We've now got Denmark, number 5. Half Danish, there you go. A esteemed company. They have ham, you know. I did the sort of inevitable thing where I sat there in my brain going, ooh, wouldn't it be cool if I could do this with my tactic? And it just got me thinking of all sorts of things that we could do with Wisła Krakow and the weird shit that we will hopefully be able to do. Now, what this does present is the theory that, in theory, players are going to have, right, 2 sets of roles attached to them and positions, right, for in and out of possession in order to make that sort of thing work. This does bode well, as long as it means that we should, in theory, get players to have more versatility on them and stuff. Because it feels like, you know, the way that in FM a lot of the time, you get a lot of players that are capable of playing like one role and like one a little bit more. I feel like in 26, there's going to need to be a little bit more versatility in roles. Hello, Pog, you're back again.
Hot coffee or cold coffee?
Hot coffee.
Depends if I drive or walk.
What do you want to do?
What coffee do you want, hot or cold?
I wouldn't mind a hot coffee, honestly. Have you got my card?
No, but I'll get it.
I don't know why I just reminded her of that. She was going to buy me a coffee, and I've just reminded her to take my card. Useless. This is why I'll never profit in life, chat. I keep never interrupt your enemy while they're making a mistake. Binder's a big gamer. Oh, you're right. Wait, did we already know that? Or did we just gloss over that randomly? That's great news. It's about bastard time, honestly, that we had someone that liked a big match, frankly. Having injured for... Oh, mate. When we took the lead in that game, which was a weird game up until that point, it didn't really feel like either team was doing anything. I turned around and I said to Pog, I guarantee you we lose this game 3-1. Just because I've been harmed before with us going ahead against Villa last week. Didn't actually expect that it was going to come around again, though. Doing absolutely nothing in it. I've just been absolutely cooked there. Never make a mistake while you're interrupting. Famous, That's Moon Sue. That's the famous philosopher Moon Sue. So, anyway, the only benefit I had from this was the fact that, well, yeah, actually, what I was going to say is, I think that means that players are going to have more versatility in their roles, because I suspect that a lot of the in and out possession stuff is going to be like, you know, AML dropping back to ML when out of possession, which means that you're going to need to make sure that there's more players that actually have those two functionalities, otherwise it's going to be really annoying. So hopefully that's something they'll have taken into account when implementing a system like that, right? But my God, Semenyo is just... He's ridiculous. Luckily, and I say this sparingly, I did at least have him in both my FPL team and my club team. So, you know, that was nice, I guess. I've actually done quite well on FPL this weekend. Got some good points out of... Well, I got Kukurea got some points for me too. So Richarlison let me down massively. He's your captain. I actually tried to captain Gabriel for Arsenal this weekend, just to try and really throw a curveball out there rather than just captaining Haaland. And I forgot to confirm it, so now I've just got Haaland. So that's fine. Watch him score like 7 goals against Brentford today. Please do watch that happen. I would really like that to happen. This is a fun name. Primož Potokar. Oh, he's a finishy boy. I mean, he's not even close to the type of player we can sign, but still. Ported save files. That's a good point. I guess it's another one of those things where they're going to have to really do a lot of work for the porting stuff, but I suspect that might be one of the things that stops people from... Why have I clicked on this guy? We can't sign him. it could be a bit of a barrier with some of the ported saves, potentially. Obviously, we're all speculating at this point, but I totally see where that's coming from. Right. These guys are not useful to us right now. It's these two up here. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, he's super expensive. Wait, we don't care about expensiveness, do we? It's Atletico Paranaense, Kirisen. He's German, but he can play as a 10. And he's wanted by Milan. He's so expensive. And look at his long throws. Like, so do we really want that? He's like, Face of the Prem in your eyes. Who's the prettiest? The prettiest? Oh, I don't know. Is he really that good? I was hoping better. The fact is, he's stayed in Brazil his entire career, and I certainly wouldn't drop 35 million on him, let's put it that way. That's actually a wild price for a player that's never left Brazil. I'm happy to let Milan do it. He's just kind of fine. Yeah, you're right, his name is Kerrison Ham. Which, I guess is... Oh, it's the German part coming in, isn't it? Prettiest players... Soboslai is a very pretty man. But if we're talking... Are we talking about pure aesthetics, or are we talking about, like, the face of the league as... He's a little bit of fun, isn't he? Arata Okuhama. Why has he only got 6 caps? Oh, he's a 5'4" boy. It just doesn't make a lot of sense to me that this guy only has 6 caps, given that he's 25 now, and really, really good. Like, what the hell system are the Japanese national team playing that this guy doesn't get to get in it? Actually, I'm kind of curious now. Oh, they got a new stadium. Oh, no, they do, but, like, sort of not really. In fairness, if there was one system that he probably wouldn't be able to be... Is he being kept out of the team by Matsuoka? Yes, he is. I've just realised the reason he's not playing for Japan is because of the guy that we already have that plays for Japan. He's almost certainly playing as the playmaker in that system. Who should be the face of the Prem? I don't know. Like, I guess it depends on how you define face of the Prem, innit? Like, because when I think of faces of the league, it's usually like most noteworthy players and people, most recognisable people. Yeah, Japan, generally speaking, I mean, they've got a key player as well as Yuki Natsuka, who plays for Inter. Yeah, he's got that 20, Jesus, he's very good. What a weird little pathway as well. Where did he come through? Came through at Shiritsu Funabashi High School, then went straight to Braga for free. That's fun. Oh, thank you, Quimby. That's very kind of you, man. Please feel no pressure to do that, anybody. Particularly if you can find it cheaper elsewhere. And actually, on that topic, for some reason, I just woke up this morning, there was like 3 or 4 brand new patron people. So very, very kind of you for doing that. It's weird that they all did it at the same time. It just sort of threw me. I was like, did I say something? But on that topic, obviously we don't know if the EDT file thing is going to work for 26. I'd like to think that it probably will, because I suspect that a lot of the underlying like things that are being fed into the game are most likely going to remain relatively similar. But we simply don't know. However, if that doesn't work and we can't do the patron regions the way I've done them the last 2 years, we do have a backup system that will allow us to use the pre-game editor to insert them into the save. It won't work in quite the same way, but it will actually give us, weirdly, a little bit more control in certain areas. One of the things that we will be able to do potentially for that would be to edit their likeliness to become managers upon retirement, which is something you can do when editing players. That's the only advantage of doing it that way, basically. So we've got contingencies upon contingencies, should that need to happen. And because we've not got loads of database stuff to do for Viswa, it'll be a lot of a faster process to get that started, which is awesome. The Peast, thank you for the 18 months, my friend. Graphics packs do what? Yes, so where was that quote from? Because I saw that same thing bandied around. It does also make, because, yes. So it gives us a lot more options in that sense. Wait, did Braga sell him for 38 million? That's pretty good. Who's this team here, actually? Hello, FM? Artorivo Wakayama. Good badge. Just weird. Oh, yeah, you see what they've done then? They've made the O into a football. When they thought of that, there must have been high fives all around the room. FM Console said the speculate. Yes, but how does FM Console know that? I hate to be that guy, but source, bro. Here we go. Thank you. As I say that, Saz is like, take this bitch, just shut up. Right, okay, let's see. Goody, thank you for the 5 months. It's very kind. Hopefully I'll
Thanks
have some
for
good
all
streams
the
next
great
year.
streams, Matto.
Oh, so it was Tokyo Game Show, wasn't it? That I do remember being a thing. So I assume Miles gave an interview while he was out there, right? That's why SAS is a favourite day. Do you know what, Basil? You're not wrong. Let me just type in mod. Here we go. Modding remains supported, though some features won't be available at launch. Player packs and logo packs were. Do you know what? It's actually kind of crazy that Miles is saying that publicly. Just because if you know what SI are like with regards to mods, not mods, but like licensed playing packs and stuff, it feels odd that he's actually come out and saying it. So I feel like they haven't really acknowledged that publicly before. It's normally just been a case of like, here it is, just don't tell anybody, but it's really obvious. But fair. Maybe they feel a little bit more comfortable with that, considering they've got so many more licenses, it seems. So player packs and logo packs work, which is the crucial thing. Custom skins won't be in it initially. Screen config. This is the bit that absolutely concerns the shit out of me. Screen configuration won't be available at launch, but may come in future updates. That is the kind of thing that is going to be very, very difficult to stomach when actually playing a game like that, I suspect. The ability to not go into a screen and be able to say, hey, I want X, Y, and Z here is horrifying, frankly, and is going to be an absolute crazy thing to not have in the game. Custom skins in the way that they currently exist, I would totally understand why they wouldn't be included in this launch, but things like that, it's like that's basic functionality that people have used for a decade now. To remove that is worrying, frankly, particularly with the bookmarks thing that clearly looks to be... the bookmarks thing annoyed me a bit because it was like so close to being a brilliant feature, and in actuality it's most likely just going to be a pretty pointless feature now. Confirms that his football Outcast Michaels worked there once. They wasn't. I know. Well, thanks. I now have brain damage from reading that. But thank you for blessing us with that this morning. Non-essential features get over the line. Cool, but like at the end of the day, if you get it over the line and it's a piece of shit, who cares, right? I understand that, but at the same time, if you remove all the things that make the game playable to release the game, why bother at that stage? Like, if it's going to be missing a lot, it's all very well adding like in and out of possession tactics, but if the game itself is unplayable, it doesn't matter, right? That's the issue that I have with these things. Is it needs to be playable in a way that is not even familiar, because obviously it's going to take some time to learn and relearn things, of course. But it's shit like that, though. I see that and I'm like, oh, what else is missing? Been built on some core set content. Yeah, and that worries me too, because it's just like... I understand that you need some kind of core principles, but at the same time, you have to understand that PC games and console games do look and act differently and have different expectations from the players of said games. This feels like one of those situations where one set of people want a hot dinner, one set of people want cold food, so you serve them lukewarm food when nobody wants. Like, that's the problem. If you try to compromise too much in situations like that, you end up with just nothing. So hopefully that isn't the case. More people from the UI. I think that that would make a lot of sense, Kermode, because because let's be honest, I don't know how custom skinning, like how common it actually is. Like, maybe it's just because we all, for the most part, do it, that I'm assuming that it's really common, when in actuality it might be that it's less common than we think. But to be fair, my skin videos every year tend to get like 200,000 views, so probably enough people are doing it for it to be a relatively size of the market. I like the idea that you've just forgotten that this is the tactic we've played, and then it's like horrifying all over again. Big fan of that. That's the exact effect I was looking for. The fact that we've got no Barnetche for another couple of weeks and no Greet boost till Christmas is absolutely gutting, frankly. Added themselves up. Yeah, the lack of an instant result button is... That's the sort of thing that... It concerns me. Shit like that. Not just because of how it is in personal use, but just because it's like, why? Why is it not there? Watch it being like the console version or something. I think that we will see skinning in the game, but it won't be done in the traditional sense. It'll be done through more moddy kind of stuff, in the sense that it's not as simple as you just basically going to a menu and clicking select skin. It'll have to be done where it's like recompiles some kind of files in the back end, which I realize is kind of what skinning is doing anyway. But yeah, there won't be like native skinning, I suppose. If anything, I actually think that people, once they get their hands on the Unity system for it, are probably going to come up with some stuff that you couldn't even come close to doing with the sort of skinning you can do in this engine. I kind of excited to see what those people are going to be. Maybe they'll finally get us. Then again, what they won't be able to do is add functionality like an instant result button or something if the button and the actual code for it doesn't exist. I suppose, because what if there isn't like even an engine for that? Because I don't really know exactly how the instant result function works. Like, I'm not sure what like engine it's using to actually make those games happen. Yeah, if it can't be unpicked, that would be disastrous. I mean, yeah, I don't know. At the end of the day, like, it just comes down to, I hope it's fun. Because if it isn't fun, then nothing else really matters. I think it's a bit weird even when it's in context, if I'm honest. Right, come on. Oh, that's lovely. Literally, give me a fun game that isn't completely devoid of like life and... Because if that, like, the tactics thing looks really cool, the matches and everything look, from what we can see anyway, really cool and nice, and there's a lot of improvements, at least to the visuals of that sort of stuff, which I don't really care too much about, but it's nice to have, right? It'll just be, oh, hello. Unnecessary. What are they doing? Oh, I suspect not. Oh, it's beautiful. Karapichi is not offside. I didn't think so. It's just going to be... It's going to take some getting used to. Like, that first Slavia stream is just going to be us flapping. Because if it is going to be the 20th, which is my prediction for it anyway, that means that's Monday night. Because usually I find they drop the betas at like the early evening on the day that they choose to drop it, right, most of the time. That's my experience with it anyway. So I'll literally get like a little bit of an evening with it to then stream it the following day. QOL post. Yeah, I mean, if they do release, I'd like to see a post to do with QOL. I realize it won't do as well on socials because it's not as flashy, but I feel like a lot of the player base is concerned about the QOL stuff. Particularly as there's been a lot of like sort of clamoring for certain QOL features for a while now. If this was released and we found out that they've, instead of implementing any of that stuff, have actually made it a lot more bare bones, I think that would be, yeah. The beta usually just gets announced in the sense that they go beta. There's not like the beta will be announced on X day kind of thing. They just kind of dump it. Rather than the roadmap. Yeah. Yeah. That's my jam. That's the sort of stuff I usually like. It's just, they usually say it's 14 days before, sorry, a minimum of 14 days before release. So you get your 2 week of early access, which means that the latest it could be would be the 20th in order to fulfill those requirements. But I suspect with something like this, they're not going to just release it early. Unless it was in an insanely good state. I very much doubt. And you'd want as much time as possible for polish. So there's really no benefit to them, I don't think. Unless you're getting a huge amount of public testing. But they've got testers, right? So I'd expect to see it that. Last season in the end. Well, domestically, really well. We actually crushed it to the point where I think at one point we won like 11 out of 12 league games and drew the other and finished off, I think we came second or third in the league in the end. But the reason for that is because we had no European football. Because we got dumped out of Europe in the group stages, which was really unfortunate. We just had some really weird results, got a few injuries that didn't really help us at the wrong times, and now, this year we're kind of bouncing back. Thrown a bit of money at some random players, got a couple of serious injuries, and we're just trying to push for the final season and just absolutely crush it. In theory, anyway. As for the, yeah, that's the other thing. Like, while it's a beta, it's not in the traditional sense, really, is it? It's a game that they're basically saying, hey, this is like close to being finished, but you get a lot more information with like metrics and stuff for just having people test it for a couple of weeks as well. So I take it they don't do a console beta, which is, I'm actually surprised that they, or is that just not a thing that they can do? Any football played in the beta? I mean, I hope so. Oh shit. Nuno struggled a little bit. Emika it is. We'll get Shaz Monster on. But it's not been that bad. Actually, no, we're going to get Bernal on left side instead because Tucci's still not fit yet. Yeah, I suspect that's probably because the issue. Notable signs. I'll give you a little run through after this match. The biggest one is the guy that I just took off on the right wing, Lorenzo.
The 2-year mark will come right in time for FM26.
You'll love to see it. Thank you for the 23 months, though, friend. Nevertheless, that is fantastic. So, yeah, so I suspect that it's just kind of buried in red tape and stuff that doesn't give them the flexibility that they would need in order to be like changing their mind constantly, I suspect. Oh, go on. Karapichi. Oh, Dardan. This man he's not a striker. Not that he's playing as a striker, but he's like not even, I don't know, third, fourth choice for this role, and he is carrying us at times, which is so sick. Unlikely to be a match. Oh, yeah. Well, no, we will, because we'll be playing friendlies. Because the only way we're going to learn the tactics is by building one, so we'll be building a tactic with Slavia, with Slavia using friendly mode. Or not friendly mode, you know, I'm just playing the friendly matches. In before you can't manage friendlies or something. Imagine that. We just felt that people weren't doing it enough, so we've removed that feature from the game. That was really nice. Oh, and it's 3, and it's Axel Alvarez, the new man. Love to see it. Yeah, we've actually removed in-game management. Not enough people were doing it. People were just holidaying and rebuilding teams, so we've just decided you don't need to do that anymore. The tile and card thing is one of those things where aesthetically it looks good, but I'm worried about its implementation and how it scales. I'm also worried that it looks like in certain screens it's basically not showing you information and causing you to have to click more for literally no reason, just so it can pop a tile or card out. That's not what we want either. Yeah, the whole game is instant result. So as for the... Oh my god. Another dynamic manager timeline, but this one, it's got lights, Tim. It's got lights! Did I mention it's got lights? I think I'm always like... Oh, go on. My viewpoint is always going to be, I'll be optimistic until proven otherwise, right? So, the things I've seen so far, there's a lot of them I really like. I do still think the UI is going to take some getting used to. But I would just like to see some assurances to do with like just basic stuff in the game. And I realise that's me being kind of silly, because most years you wouldn't expect anything to be taken out, because why would you, right? But in this year, I'm just worried that we're going to go into the game and find like a really feature that we use every single time we do a save that's just missing. And you're like, what gives, chat? Like, you know... A 3-hour unskippable meeting. It's just the entire stream. I've seen any footage of the game moving from screen to screen. That's the thing, Mark. The thing that I'm reticent to trust yet is navigation itself. Because we've seen static screens, but I don't think we've actually seen a lot of navigation. Because I think one of the things you do in FM more than anything else is move around the game world between the menus. And that needs to be fluid and smooth and crucial, because I think, if anything, that's probably the thing in the game you would engage with more than anything else, is just moving around. Because most of the time you don't really notice your own activity in FM, but like just coming out of here, various community funds, I think that given that the lower league sides that because it only really goes down to National League South and North, they probably won't introduce anything like that, because when you're adding leagues that low, like, I wonder what the lowest league that's actually in the base game is, in terms of, like, realistically, that you would consider to be the lowest ranked league. Is it maybe Gibraltar? Or the Welsh second tier, actually, yeah. That's turned into quite a comfortable win in the end, out of nowhere. But just the ability to be like, right, I'm going to my inbox or whatever. Right, cool. I want to be able to, you know... For example, imagine if you, say, couldn't click on... things inside news articles take you to pages within that, right? It's things like that that are so crucial to the way that FM's navigation system works. Like, so many of these different things you can click on. I'm assuming that highlights the goal, that highlights the player, that highlights the club, that highlights another goal. These just little things that be able to, like, dick about, basically. It's so useful. Like, with the lack of sidebar, I assume the thing is that I'll just end up getting made up by all the bookmarks anyway, because most of those bookmarks are just things you'd have for the sidebar. I'm still a bit gutted about the fact that it doesn't look like that's going to be custom anytime soon. Because that could have been, a moment. The sidebar is just bookmarks, yeah. I actually kind of hate that, because it's like, it's not bookmarks. What you've done is you've taken a good feature and made it worse. Can't praise training, can't individual tragedy play. Yeah. Yeah, we've seen no indication. Wait. What? After speaking with Bastien Garnier, I believe that he's decided to move on from any issues with how you... Who did I treat? When did I... What? Was there a promise I failed on him? Did this happen before I went to Aberdeen and I'd just forgotten? No. I wish... There used to be a way I think you could see completed promises. Either way, I guess it's now to worry about now. Or it's just one of those weird ones where sometimes the game forgets to send you the actual reason they're annoyed with you, and then you just get this a little while later. It's almost like it's forgotten. Either way, I'm glad you're happy now, Bastian. Good news, buddy. Who we spend the budget on? I don't know, because obviously we can't just spend it on people that we don't want. We need needle movers. Because what we've done so far is... was there any I signed before? No. Forgot his birthday cake, possibly. Why is that not a thing? What I've always said was that I wanted the console version to be beefed up to be more like the PC version, rather than the other way around. Implemented a decent way. I don't know. I'm not really sure what that would look like. As in, like, what would be a not decent way for it to be implemented? Because at the end of the day, the women's leagues are just more leagues, so they shouldn't really have any issues with implementation. In theory, it'll be for $1 million for a guy on loan. Yeah, but like, he's really good, and we needed another centre back. And frankly, for one season, when you had a budget of 130 million, we weren't going to be able to buy a guy of this kind of quality. He wouldn't sign for us, basically. So I figured with a guy with 16 heading and 18 jumping reach, who scored in that last game, it was well worth paying 6 million quid for a year just to have him, because it just made sense to us. I also got Valverde for 1.7 million, but we can't register him in the squad. I'm mostly signing for the memes. Morale management. I just have a load of that stuff you wouldn't... the morale stuff, I suspect that's all going to be the same. I genuinely feel like it's going to be the same. We also got this guy off of Atalanta for 8.5 million quid, because we were a little bit light at right side after obviously Nagalo leaving. Yeah, the Liverpool left back cost us a lot less than that, actually. Yeah, I just mean that, like, I don't see how it can be implemented badly, because what is there to implement other than it's just more leagues, isn't it? Right? I'd like to think, given how long it's been, that they've spent a long time working on that part of the game. He's a good guy. He's just a good guy. 30 years old. Is it AFCON this year? No, it was AFCON last year, I think. I fucking hope not. No, it definitely was AFCON this year, wasn't it? Because there's in this year that's just gone, because we lost a lot of players in January, and we also had Asian Cup, and those are usually in the same year, aren't they? Because we lost Matsuoka to that after he came back from his broken ankle, which was great. So we should have a clear run at it this year. We also spent 41 million on Nuno Lorenzo, who I think is really, really good. Like, he's elite physicals. He can cross and dribble at an extremely high rate. His passing is goated. He is very nice. Basically, Wolves absolutely shat the bed on him. Look at his value. 140 million. Wolves paid 26 million for him, plus add-ons. In the end, I think they only ended up making like a 10 million profit in one season on him. But he's very good. And they had a release clause, so we were just able to poach in that. After we sold Nagalo, obviously, there was just no reason not to take that. Transfer logic. True. Yeah, I mean, maybe that will have... Perhaps the introduction of the women's game and these new transfer stuff they're going to have to do for that might actually mean that they've put a little bit more thought into the transfer AI more broadly, and we may reap the benefits of that on the men's side as well, which would be sick. If that causes the whole... It's one of those like rising tide raises all boats type of situations, right? Only to speak a few details. Really, it's about just basically, there are obviously a few slightly different like the women's players in 26 will have to have some slight differences in the sense that basic shit like average height, and obviously, but more things to do with women are more susceptible to different types of injuries than men are. There's like an epidemic of, I believe, ACL injuries in the women's game due to the boots, like, or something like that. They're actually inventing specific boots now that are tailored specifically to women's footballers because of that injury, I think. So I'd like to think that they have injury variables, because that is a real issue in the game, isn't it? Obviously, you don't want to have loads of injuries, but you want it to be realistic, right? The code expire. I don't know, actually. I think it's just... I haven't been told that it does expire by Fanatical, so I believe that's going to be kind of good to go for a little while now. Should be... Yeah, there should be hundreds, but I think you want to kind of hit the main things. Active Pregnancy isn't real. Possibly. I suspect it might be one of those ones that only affects regens, maybe. Because it would be a legal nightmare. I suppose it'd be a legal nightmare even then. Who is this guy? Oh, he's 20. Right, yeah. I mean, you guys can have him. Probably. I just want to be able to manage Fulham's women's team. Make them back to where they were before. So, yeah, what I was actually going to say during that round game is that with the game dropping on the 4th, it's the 4th, isn't it? The Tuesday. There's a good chance that we might be able to cook and be ready to start with Viswa on the Sunday, which is the 9th of November. Which is pretty a decent turnaround, I would say. In theory. Just because of the limitations on, like, what actually needs to be changed. Donkey, off you go, that. Editor state. Yes! I'd be willing to bet that the editor is going to be largely the same. I think that's the sort of thing that we're unlikely to see any changes to. In fact, from what Hadrian's told me, I believe that there's some stuff in the editor for 24 that even looked like it was like preparing for women's. Isn't there like a women's button in the editor now, Hadrian? It doesn't do anything, but I think there is a button in there, right? Yeah. So I suspect they were probably planning this before. What needs to be changed? So basically with Viswa, the only thing we're really changing is some stuff to do with the loan rules to make it more difficult for us, and a few things to do with staff members. Like bringing some like players from previous saves in as staff members, like for example Sven Smates to be. I think we're going to make Sven the women's manager, won't we? Ballon d'Or's in. He's crap, but it's called Ballon d'Or. I mean, I wasn't not going to sign Ballon d'Or, was I? Oh, he's not that bad, but he's not that good either. And also we want to make sure that, so this is our literal changelog so far. So loan rules, adding women's top flight for Viswa. That way we're just going to keep an eye on them, basically. And Sven's going to manage them. And maybe a few little other Easter eggs and stuff that we can do there as well. And potentially it might also be us inserting the Patreon regens, depending on whether the EDT file functionality works. So then the deadline for the being in the save will probably be like, I don't know, the 7th of November or something like that. I think that's what it was last year. Not last year, sorry, the year before. Smates, yeah! You've got to get Smatesy in there somehow. But it's not like Malta where it required a really heavy amount of database editing. Yeah. So the button's definitely been there. I would be surprised if there's any major changes on that side of things, to be honest. Oh, come on. Oh, thank God for that. The last thing we need is any more bloody injuries. So you'll be back next game. Tristan won't be back for Leon, but he could be back for the one after that. Aslan will be around for a little while. Valverde's not registered anyway. It's good eat boost, really. He's the only one that's... He makes me feel like if we were to find another goated number 10 that just popped up, I'd be willing to just splash some cash on him anyway. Although Carapici, though, has done a good job. The only issue is that when Carapici's there, it means he's not out wide, so we're still sort of getting a bit screwed on that side of things. Yeah. It should be relatively basic stuff. So, Hadrian, you were telling me about some of the things that, if we do have to use the pregame editor to insert the Patreon players, there's a few extra things that we'd be able to have control over by doing so. Because I know one of the things was their likeliness to become a manager, which is kind of cool. It would also basically give us more carte blanche to give you guys a little bit more customization on your players that you can't really do with the Patreon thing. So, like, second nationalities are much more controllable and stuff like that. And it does give you a little bit more control, basically. But it would then come at the expense of them not being regens, per se. I don't believe, anyway, unless Hadrian's got some trick up his sleeve. Oh, Lavinio, I wish I was out there running. I've actually missed my last 5 runs just because of all the tooth shit I've been suffering from this week. But touch wood today, solid. Doesn't seem to be giving me too much issues, which is nice. Which probably just means that the infection's basically gone away, and I've been like using mouthwash and stuff and really trying to be careful with it for the time being. My hope is I can just sort of nurse it for a little while now that I'm aware of it. Right. That's a lot of players. Oh, thing is, I like Bongani. And I don't know if we can... Velázquez, Alvarez, Chawi, Tiani, Azza. Do you know what? Yeah. If he wants to go and he's going to cause an issue, I will just let him go on loan this season. But I'd rather he didn't. But at least we've signed some other centre-backs that will kind of cover over for him in the meantime. That's Walker Peters. Oh, speaking of... Do I have a Manny player yet? I don't think I do, actually. Oops. Bloody hell. I think Pog's just picked up my vintage parcel. No, I think I've got to wait another 2 hours. Oh, hour and 27. Nice. Multiple positions. Yes, true. It would make them at least more likely to become managers after retirement, which would be cool. Yeah, I can't afford to loan Darko Rezic right now. Just because we don't have anyone else to play that role until the others come back from their injuries. Make sure they're spawning correctly. I see. True. But then if they spawn with like the random CA, would that then mean that they're so would people still be able to choose which clubs they spawn at? F is that Leon defense? They've got Pablo Antonio Mattia, Joachim Bomba, Alberto Postigo, and Kronis Parastainos. Oh, right, okay. That's dope. So it basically works the same way, essentially. Another... Harv will be pleased to hear that, I'm sure. Right. Okay, so, yeah, he's not going to miss... Ooh, nah, he can play. We've got a week till the next game, right? Yeah, full week till Trois. 9 P8. That's awesome, then. Yeah, so that... Good runs with their clubs. Maybe. That would be cool, though. Just to have that extra little bit of control. There is something cool about people being actually able to have regens. But if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. That will literally be the first thing I test upon receiving the beta, is to go and dump those files over if that folder even exists, and then just be simming. Sod learning the game. I've got more important things to do. I suppose I'd have the entire beta player to test that anyway, because it's not like... But I would like to have some of them carried over into the beta save as well, just because, you know? Not that we'd likely see them spawn anyway if they were to be a thing, because obviously the beta save won't last more than a couple of seasons at most anyway, depending on how far... That's another thing that... I'd be curious to see what the speed of play is like. Because with all these new changes, I wonder how, like... Have there been any optimizations to processing and things like that? It's not like big headline-grabbing features, of course, but it's the sort of thing that you kind of go, oh, you know, if there was something like that, that would be kind of sick as well. Coming out. Generally speaking, the line they trot out every year is that it's a minimum of 2 weeks before the full release of the game. So, i.e., October 20th at the latest. And generally speaking, it usually is that date. There have been a couple of years. I think it was 24, actually. That was like a few days before the predicted release, wasn't it? Or was it 23? There was definitely one that was like 3 or 4 days before, and everyone went, damn, okay. Yeah. The second nationality thing definitely would work there. And also, like, learning on stream was just funny anyway. Like, me flapping around trying... Like, I'm pretty comfortable with tactics a lot of the time, but if this is brand new to everybody, because it's going to work completely differently, and obviously if all the menus look different too, it's going to be like, well, okay then. See if someone tests it. Yeah, I don't blame you, honestly. Right, Leon away. We're 2 for 2 so far. Wait, no, we're not. Yes, we are. No, we are 2 for 2. If we could start off with a nice little run of league wins, just to get that momentum going into the Champions League matches, that'd be lovely. Because that's really where our thoughts lie this year. But we played so well towards the end of last year, and a lot of the lads that were carrying us in those moments have just got better, pretty much. First patch, again, don't blame you. I suspect that this is the kind of year where we will see a lot more patches. Oh, go on. Oh, Matt Swoker loves a banger. Is this another one? Oh, he's all the way through. Oh, it's a bit weak, actually. I was kind of hoping for some Justin Kluivert-esque loveliness there. Will be licensed. I don't know. Because they haven't technically released the list of like the licensed leagues and stuff. They've announced some new ones, which I guess implies that most of the stuff that's existing is still in the game. But I don't know if the extra classer is licensed in 24, is it? I don't remember if I've seen, you know, the big splash screen that comes up at the start of the save. Sorry, the start of the game that has all the licensed leagues on it. I don't know if extra class is on there. It is fully licensed. Does that mean that the second tier is licensed as well? Not that it really matters too much, but it'd be nice if it was. Second tier is not. Okay, so that means Viswa probably won't be licensed, but the extra class it is, which should at least hopefully give us some cool match day stuff when we actually get into the games. Oh, it's a good save as well. We started this game really, really strongly, though. Turns out Karapichi was the striker, non-striker that we needed all along. Who could have predicted that? Like, licensing in FM doesn't usually mean too much. What you're getting usually is things like kits are being native. But if we've already established that, well, they said logos and face packs, right? They didn't mention anything about, like, oh, you have got to be kidding me. I think he might be our record signing, you know. Well, either way. AdMods, yes. Right, that's a great point, Tom. I'm glad you brought that up, because I saw that when I was in Aberdeen. I was like, I cannot wait to mention this on stream, and obviously knew I was going to forget. So yes, the award for Manager of the Month in Poland is literally an FM themed award. How sick is that? Imagine if we could get hold of one of those. Hello, Pog. Nice. Are they two separate boxes? They're actually in the proper boxes.
Side note.
Oh my
Do you know
god.
if there's a train coming anytime soon?
Wow.
Oh yes, very soon. They are building it now.
There's none in it. No. Zed did it. Thank you very much for the follow, friend.
Total side note.
Yes, Pog?
I saw Corgi.
You saw a corgi. Love to see it. He better not have a broken leg. I will be livid.
I think of one I haven't seen before.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, the kit thing. Backup picture test. Oh, right. There you go. That's good to know. Uganda taxi operator. I love the fact that Pog's just here at Uganda taxi operations. And there's me at Extra Crispy. Big Mama Gluttons, baby. Love to see it. Right, we move. Yeah, it would suck if the kits one was broken just because how would Password make memes at my expense that I don't notice for 6 streams? Christ on a bike. Sorry, chat. That must have been very loud. It was loud enough for me to flinch away.
Sorry.
Jesus Christ. I bet that just sounded like gastric trouble. Is today the ED... No, is today the half marathon, Pog?
What?
Is today the ED half marathon? Did you see any signs of that in the town? No, apparently not.
Might be, but I didn't see.
Pog finds a way. Actually, speaking of fantasy stuff, we have 2 different fantasy NHL hockey setups going for... Does it work? Oh, let's check later.
Does it?
We'll check after stream. It's going to be okay. Was that Alvarez again, by the way? Has the guy scored 2 and 2 since we signed him? Yes, he has.
So,
Yes, Pog.
I'm best friends with the pasta man now.
Best friends with the pasta man. Amazing.
Yeah, Karen spoke to me. So
Of course. Did you get any pasta?
No.
Useless. Absolutely useless. So yeah. Sorry?
Bye.
Bye. We have 2 different fantasy NHL options. One of which is more like an FPL style one where you can basically select a squad using a salary cap or whatever, and it works pretty much the same kind of way. Another one is one that he wishes. The other one we've got set up, and there is a Discord for both, in the Discord obviously, is one where you can actually draft properly, and each player can only be on one person's roster. What a goal from Habib! That's going to be an own goal, isn't it? Oh dear, with the floating control. Was it just like a discombobulated arm you could see? In the name pools. Yes. I think, to be fair, I always do ask people to be relatively sensible with their names. That's the most sort of, even the people whose names were a little bit out there, they sort of, like, for example, Bear Ask's one, the way that he, like, created the name to look at least like a name, I thought that was cool. And like Gus Showbiz, it still kind of works. Nobody has like a silly name, because one of the things I put on like the form I send people is like just to be like, you know, remember this is in the save, which also works both ways when it comes to including your real details. Obviously you might want to be more careful with that as well, because, you know, what if I blow up as a massive streamer in 26 and you've got to defend why your name, your player's called Dickie Bobbington's the Third to like 8,000 viewers? Then what are you going to do, chat? Nothing, because that won't happen. The first part might, but not the second part. Oh, is it Japan jersey? Oh, I like that. I'm glad you believe in me, Mikey. Thank you for the 65 months.
8k, more like 20k.
Oh, Dickie's got Ballon d'Or written all over him, I'll tell you. Kucherov and Sabrini. Jesus Christ. That's a hell of a team you've got there. Wait. Oh, thank God. I thought it was another injury. It'd just be called Patrick. Straight up Patrick. But yeah, for those of you that might have... because, as I said earlier, a lot of people signed up yesterday, and I'm assuming it was from the VODs, potentially. So presumably that means you're watching this as well. You probably would have got a form that come through automatically about the Patreon thing. Don't worry about that right now. I'll send out a proper one to everybody who's like on there at the time as well, once we actually know if it works, and then we'll decide what we're going to do with it, and you can then send me the information and I can pass it on to Patreon and such. So that should be good. Right. I also do want to do some more of those like silly off-cut Patreon videos, like the one I did with the scouting video. Christ, we are a bit tight in that one position, actually. Like, we're not super deep there. Do I want to take Carapici off? I could put Bernal through the middle, I guess. This might be a bad idea, actually. I guarantee now that somebody is going to request their Patreon region to be Dickie Bobbington's the third. And you know what? I'm all for it, because I love that that was the stupidest name I could think of. Like, that's not even an outrageous name. It's like, if you said to me, yes, my player is a Brazilian guy called Cunt, I'd have been like, you're probably not going to have that, right? Like, that's what you don't want. Also, excuse my language. That I probably wouldn't have put in the game. Okay. We're getting the dub again. £70. That's quite a lot, I suppose, but football shirts these days are super expensive. Richard Bobertson the third. Indeed, yes. My God. There goes my idea. What is that? Oh. Dickie Bobbington. Anareth's already thinking of name changes. Stream on Zoom. Hello, Dazza. How's it going, friend? Apologies, chat, if you were watching in the room with small children. I realise you're probably not, given that I swear a lot on stream all the time, but I don't tend to drop that word very often. I save that for a special occasion. Like when I'm discussing Goop products. I love that every time someone tries to say that in chat now, it just bans them for misogyny. I'm the only one that's allowed to be a misogynist here, chat, I'm afraid. That's really annoying. Hungover but good. Interesting. Did you have a nice day out yesterday? Oh, that's tremendous. That's actually kind of mid-coffee for once. But the act of drinking the coffee is tremendous, but the coffee, not great, I must admit. Right. We won again. I hate the fact that it took that goal away from Habila, because he had a great game. He's genuinely crushing it. And I'm wondering to myself, do we even need Shaz at this point? But my name said, did you really? Wait, it wouldn't even let you post it? Because usually I just have to approve it. It's one of those things where Twitch will allow me to approve it on an as and when basis, but it won't let me like blanket improve it. It's a bit like, you know, when we were going to do Nashar Lions for Malta, and even though I clicked allow to every single possible combination, Twitch would still block people from using the word Nashar. So after a while, you just kind of have to go, fine, I'm being censored. I mean, my appearance is generally quite offensive too, but you don't see Twitch banning me. That'd be the perfect time for stream to just cut out. We would have had to improve it every single time. It would have been a disaster, frankly. 2 days, friend's house Friday night, then last night we went to the bowling alley flight club type darts place. What's flight club type darts? I'm not familiar with darts. That sounds really fun, honestly. It just, I feel like when you're, I don't know what age it is. Oh, it's only, I say it's only a month out. That's another injury though. You just come to really appreciate spending time with your friends, right? Because you don't get to see them as often as you used to. And when you are all together, there is just something kind of special about it. The ability to be around people where you can actually just sit in comfortable silence with them sometimes and still feel completely at ease. Like, I was realizing this, that
It's good you came
a little while
summer.
ago, that
In winter, it can get very depressing.
there's certain people when I hang out with them, I just don't feel any kind of like social battery drain, I suppose. And that's mostly on me because like in social settings, I'm very vigilant, I suppose. I'm very like on because I'm trying to not seem like a weirdo. And it's quite difficult. MQs or MQS, thank you very much for the follow. And that's why I love being in Aberdeen so much, actually, just because it was really nice up there as well. We just happened to get very good weather on 2 of the 3 days. The one day we didn't get good weather was the wedding day. Such is life. Right. The stream titles as well. Yeah, I wonder, that's another thing. I mean, whether YouTube had similar systems as well, like Mackenzie. Oh, it's Happy. I thought didn't we have a guy called Mackenzie at one of the other sites before? Yeah, I'm just thing is, I'm probably... You're not an introvert? Oh, I am. I'm an introvert in almost all settings apart from very specific ones. 20th for me, Cal, is my prediction, because that's 14 days before the 4th. I think. Or is it? Am I counting wrong? I might be counting wrong, honestly. But no one's corrected me thus far, Mr. Sausage, so you never know, right? Why did I just call you Mr. Sausage? That's such a strange thing. And there's my point, chat, about me trying not to be a weirdo. An example of how it goes wrong sometimes. An introvert ever except Scott. Yeah, well, you know, I feel at home there. Right, move. Donkey's off. Be one of those two. Yeah, but Mr. Sausage is now my new name. All's well that ends well, I guess, Cal. Sorry, Mr. Sausage. I can already see someone filling in their form now. Patreon player name, Mr. Sausage. That's the sort of name that probably, if you did a better first name, I'd let it slide. And don't just spell Mr. out with the full letters. As anyone who's met me can attest, I'm a weird guy. I try not to be, but it's just who I am. It's in my culture. Mr. Sausage, the porky boy. To be fair, we did have Sammy Sausage in this save, didn't we? So, who am I to judge? Ooh, that's... No, we kind of need him as a backup now, don't we? Because we actually don't have a backup anymore. Monsieur Sausage! I just think that the 16th is going to be way too early. It's probably going to be the 20th for me. 21st would be really annoying because it would most likely be in the evening. So I'd be streaming on the Tuesday if that was the case. And then to not have the game would kind of suck. Or I just do that thing where, oh, no, Darko, buddy. Come on, we've discussed this. Oh. Oh, well. He's never been anything but a pain in the arse anyway, so one more year of him being a pain in the arse is hardly to make it's a massive difference, is it? And double check. Well, that's what I was thinking. If it was to be it's basically if the 20th comes and goes without it, then we'll just stream on Tuesday until we get it. Basically, we just treat that like a waiting room. We'll do like some silly save or something for the day. Because back in the day, there used to be, like, when it first goes live, the absolute, like, pandemonium on Twitch is really... Please, somebody don't get injured. Drive with the mods. That sounds like mod propaganda there, Chris. 9th of November. That's probably the provisional start date, at least for Viswa, which would be sick. I probably should be doing some research on that. Whoa, hang on. This guy's worth... I feel like these are the kind of players that you miss out on by not being able to get too many non-EU guys, because we identified this guy when he was at Nacional. And frankly, Spurs have absolutely ruined him, but then he's grown into being this absolute monster. And he's an Australian Uruguayan. These are the exact type of players I love that we just can't get. Yeah, Steiny did stay at Leeds in the end. Wants to leave the club. Well then... I mean, buddy, I'm willing to do it, but you're going to have to drop your asking price a little bit there, lads. I'm just going to keep pestering them on 23 million and see what they say. Hello, Gringo. Montevideo, mate.
Here's a fun fact. Voltaire contracted syphilis just 2 blocks.
My brain actually did a good there. For a second, it went, why is he correcting me? The potato zone. I love being there, let me tell you. Chips, all sorts of good things. Wedges, all sorts. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. Okay, Benavidez. That guy I liked as well. That guy's got a great name. It feels so weird sorting these scouting columns by ability, but it's really the only thing I can do at this point. Since we are literally not looking for potential. Best zone ever. I don't know. The snack zone, baby, is also pretty good. But you could argue that the potato zone, if we're doing Venn diagrams, which I know that a sizable portion of stream, about that much, in fact, would enjoy, I'd say there's a big amount of crossover between the potato zone and the snack zone, right? They're whoa! Sorry, just casually nearly knocking my desk over. Impossible. Making positive development. Love to see it, bro. God, I wish he liked big matches, because otherwise, he has like the potential to be an elite player. It's just that big matches thing. Highway to the res. Wait, what are you talking about? Jose Santos has got my back. Wait, who are you people? And why can't he be more like Jose? Right. I see. Tell me more. If I click summary, what's going to happen here? Look at the dressing room atmosphere. Unfortunately, I believe the majority of the players are unhappy with the outcome of the meeting after you failed to address their issue. Bruv, they failed to address anybody. I'm so confused. Aaron, thank you
On
for
a
the 20
treadmill in
months.
Jakarta, having watched a man play with imaginary footballers on a stream for 20 whole months.
You'll love to see it. I'm confused. Did you get very far in it? This is like being in a Zoom call with a load of people that are really quiet and usually expect someone else to speak. And then when the opportunity came and they said any more questions and everyone just sat there in silence the entire time. I've been in those Zoom calls in the past. Okay, so how badly has that affected our morale? Are you joking?
Any primers in chat?
As if. Cool. Wait, 100% has, Aaron. Yeah, yesterday when I was out and about in town, Chris, thank you very much for 44 months as well. Primers in chat. Well, they're getting rid of that, aren't they? It was windy, mate, yesterday. I tried to get out of my car and the wind went, I love that. Just trying to burst the door off its hinges. That is, yeah, I feel pretty confident that that's still going to be in the next game. The annoying thing is as well, those players that got annoyed at me there, obviously the 3 of them are squad players, but none of them are actually players that play for us. 26. The thing is, I don't know, Gringo, because technically you can port save files over. That's already been confirmed, which means that in theory, tactics files obviously aren't going to work, right? But it makes you wonder if there's some kind of conversion thing, but I don't think so. My guess is that you won't be able to, you'll have to probably rebuild your tactics. I suspect. Yeah. My question as well is, if I can't shout at players during my matches in 26, what am I going to do for entire games? Like, chat, we're going to have to talk to each other. Watch us now lose against Troyes. This game feels like it's perfectly set up for us to lose. They've rejected it. But what if I sent the same bit again and started unsettling him? Select that position, maybe, because there's a lot of the roles are just renamed. That's one of the things we were discussing. Like, they've all just sort of been simplified. So I suspect we won't going to have Segunda Volantes anymore, or Metsalas, or Registas, or Liberos, or Tracotistas. Waves hand furiously. Maybe. Stomps feet. Right, let me try and declare interest as top target. I will assign scout Stephen. I'm going to send Stephen Gerrard to watch him. Somewhat true. Yeah, it is basically windy, but actually relatively pleasant today, Basil. Octo free roll instead. Exactly. You stole my joke. Simon is desperate to make the move happen. I bet he fucking is. What a lad. Sit moping in the dugout. Don't make me get my tactics board out. I'm prepared. Oh. Literal translation. Yeah, I think it's just to simplify things across different languages, which makes sense to an extent. But I am going to miss using fancy rolls, you know? Octo free roll just doesn't quite have the same ring to it, does it? Oh. Second steering wheel. Hey, how did you find my sim racing channel? We're actually quite fortunate because it seems like our start to the season is generally speaking against teams that are lower mid-table type of chappies. Wow, Tony Great's carrying on. He's a well-travelled striker. Love that. Well, he kind of is actually, isn't he? I like that he's at least played everywhere he's gone, which is kind of fun. Yeah, so basically, Basil, the weather this week is predicted to... today's apparently going to be like the nicest day for a few days, I think. But it's just kind of... it's cold and fresh today. Facing the game, right? Yeah, so Tony Great is our Patreon regen, which is why I'm getting like the direct notifications about him. In fact, let me just check how many of them are left. Still got 23 left, actually, which is surprisingly a lot when you consider that some of them are like 36 now. Any crazy one on the Christmas list that I was going to go after? I kind of want to just sign Menno Prinz because his name's really good and we could do with another option on the left-hand side. I'm going to do it. We've got money, right? He's only 25 mil, and I quite like him. And it will allow us to play Dardan through the middle a bit more if we need to. Tactical with a TED Talk. There you go. It's what you've always wanted. Yeah, it's quite windy here, so you might find that the stuff to do with like whether it's going to rain or not can often be quite inconsistent. Like it said it was going to dick it down yesterday, and it did a little bit in the middle of the day, but not much. You're Dutch, so we should be able to get away with leveraging an insane amount of money on national team caps, right? Go on, lad. There we go. Menno's in. Love to see it. Koreshnas could have been so good. Seen that. Backwards up and apparently that's really, really good for your knees. If you have like knee pain, walking backwards, particularly if you're doing it like weighted or pulling something or just going uphill like that, is apparently really, really good to alleviate knee pain because of the muscles that it like strengthens or something. That's what I've heard anyway. I wouldn't know, as my knees are definitely not broken and definitely don't sound like a jazz club every time I bend down. Epic bubble! Thank you for the 4 months.
Been a while. How has the Miami Vice Police Force been treating you and your stash sick post, champ?
How day. Would it surprise you immensely if I told you that I was wearing cream-coloured jeans with this outfit too? Because I actually think it's quite a nice little ensemble, frankly. Wow, Stan Brand started the season incredibly well. When do we get our... they rejected it. Well, have you... I'll let you negotiate it. No, I won't let you negotiate it. Not that I go to anyway. Pasta jacket with sleeves rolled up. True. I've got the creams on, chat. I do. It's an outfit. I'm a stylish man. It goes underrated because I'm such a silly goose. But one could be stylish at the same time. Who the hell is Sorolo and why is he on international duty here? The Levi... Pog is still very much not used to the idea of not working on Sundays. Sorry for some... Sorry, the text in the actual inbox item itself completely threw me for a second. Echeverry issues gay promissory reminder. I'm like, all right, calm down. So he's expected to be loaned out. Who did this? I know, innit? Pog's having Sabbaths all over the shop. Right, well, we'll loan you out then, lad. I didn't put him on the dev list. I suspect it'll be your lower league French club, right? If we can. She doesn't know what to do with herself. You promised! She's basically... She ends up doing loads of like housework and stuff on Sundays while I'm live just because she's used to just like making herself busy and stuff. And so I think today it's just going to be, I'm going to do lots of washing type of day. I think as well, it's just because this is the thing. You know, I'm sure, I would be willing to bet that like half of you in chat have worked in retail. Probably more than half of you in chat have worked in retail at some point or have had some vague experience with some kind of tangentially related to retail things, right? But it's fucking exhausting, isn't it? Right? And she would have needed those 2-day weekends like in a row to recover from that. The thing is, now with her new job, things are a lot more relaxed in general while she's still training. Though she did actually issue some notices to some boats on Friday, which was cool. But she's not finishing the week absolutely exhausted, which means that she's actually now using Saturday to rest like she's supposed to, and then on a Sunday she feels energized again. It's like it's so nice just seeing her bouncing around and happy, and God, it makes me so fucking happy. Let me tell you, chat. Yeah, but Tristan's back, probably not to start today. I'm not actually putting him in the team. I just wanted to make sure that we've established that Lorenzo is not in the team. And then I'll sort the bench out while we're going. People are exhausted in it, though. It's, that would be the ultimate in nominative determinism, let me tell you. The other thing is, like, I genuinely think she'll be running the place in a couple of years at this rate, because it's like basic shit that she's just like, they needed these special like adhesive pockets to actually put stuff on these boats. She goes to the office and they're like, we don't have any. I was like, what do you mean you don't have any? But it feels like before, people were just going, okay, cool, well, I can't do that task today, then I'm just going to do nothing. Whereas Pog's like, fuck this, I'm going to B&M, I'm going to buy some, and then I'm going to go do my job. So that's exactly what she did. And they're like, wow, you can do that? Like, she's crushing it. Apparently she had like a 1 month review basically with her like boss, and he was just like, yeah, everyone's saying good things about you. And she's just like, we can't believe how fast she's doing things. And Pog's just like, this is not quick. I'm just doing things at a really normal speed, arguably slow for her. And I'm just like, hey. It's almost like she's actually really qualified and really good at her job. Now she's finally starting to understand. That's the thing. I imagine it must be incredibly exhausting. I mean, dealing with customers all day. Obviously, Pog would have the occasional story like, oh, I had this really nice customer at work today. But the majority of the time, it was like, I had to deal with some wanker today. Exhausting. Yeah, I imagine that's even more stressful, right? Lightspeed for a government agent. Exactly, yeah. They're going to be questioning her like, hey, what are you doing there? What, you doing things too quickly here, love. I think what they're trying to do basically is they have quite a lot of people that are very close to retirement working in the agency at the moment, and they're basically trying to like youthen it up a little bit, whilst also not forcing those people out of their roles because they're going to be retiring in a couple of years anyway. So they're going to have a whole round of new people coming through that they're hoping they can like bring through the entire department, it seems, which is cool. She's bringing outside momentum into the public sector. I know. They said it couldn't be done. But if anyone can do it, it's the Pog. Right. Who the hell is starting right wing for us today? I might start Amika. Or do I trust? Do you know what? Actually, no. We're at home against Troyes. It's a game we should be winning. Maybe I should just start Tristan up front to get him some match fitness, and then we can put Carapici back in his proper one. There is if you do !mark tactics screen go, there is a pack that contains this tactic, but I don't know if it's the latest version. I haven't put one up for this one for a little while. Actually, there might be one that's !mark tactic, actually, that might just give you this one, but it might need a few tweaks. How many minutes is he rated for? It's probably 75, right? 45. Okay, so he's a half-time sub, basically. So what I'm saying, chat, is in unison, if you could yell at me up just before half-time in this game to get Tristan off the pitch, that'd be lovely. Pog, I was just saying good things about you. All-in Extraliga is really nice, easy structure. 22 games, simple season. Tremendous. There's a team named after a sponsor that's the same sponsor as the league. What's the name of the... Is the team literally just called All-in? Pog, I was just saying how happy it makes me to see you so happy with your work and how you're absolutely crushing it. Even if you won't give yourself any credit for it, I will. I'll cheerlead like nobody business. I'm Pog's biggest fan. And never has that been more true than when she was given a crew neck, like an environment agency crew neck, and I was just like, well, give that here. And now I wear it because it's like, you know, like when your girlfriend steals your hoodie or something. That's me. I'm doing that with her environment agencies thing. I was going to wear it on stream, but I was like, would that count as stolen valor? Like, would I get in trouble then? wouldn't want any confusion happening. Someone might confuse me and go, oh, that like, he could be a functioning member of society with that jumper on. Let me tell you. Oh, I forgot to say, chat. The car's fixed. After a lovely half an hour walk in the rain on Friday evening, because that's how far away the mechanics was, we got the car back and it's fixed, which was nice. Turns out it was a corroded ignition lead. So basically spark plugs, coil packs, ignition leads needed changing. What concerns me a little bit though is that this was not flagged on our most recent service, which was not that long ago, which makes me think that our previous mechanic wasn't actually doing a great deal. Enzo with the gifted subs. Thank you so much, man. That's really, really kind of you. How's it going, bud? Where are your pom-poms? You don't want to know where my pom-poms are, bud. Oh, no. Impersonate an officer. Exactly. I just start throwing people in the canals. That's so kind of you, man. In fact, that's the wrong button. I meant to press this one. Stupid of me. How's life? Are you excited about the prospect of 26 and the potential prospect of maybe another FIFA World Cup? Actually, there's a question for you, Enzo. If there was another FIFA, I'm not going to say the full name, you know exactly what I'm referring to. And South Africa said, hey, do you want to be in it again? What would you say to that? Oh, Binder's in, baby. Because I was discussing this with Iron Owl yesterday. Right. Okay, we're leading. Who got the goal, by the way? Oh, it was Binder. Part of it, I suppose, yeah. I guess basically it's just that this mechanic that we used to use back in Essex, I'd for a while started to think was taking the piss a little bit, because basically we'd get parts replaced and then the next thing that would fail would be the same fucking part. And I realised that if you're using refurbished parts, obviously you're going to be not expecting the same kind of life out of them. But when the same part, it kind of just made me go, what are you really doing to the car here? Because you're charging me a lot of money for it. Whereas this place, the labour costs at this place as well were like way cheaper, which was really nice. Thankfully, things like spark plugs and ignition cables are not exactly expensive things, and it's a relatively quick job, thankfully. because I was worried that we were going to be having to drop like 500 quid just to get the car fixed or something. But you should have heard the rough idle. My God. You don't need massage seats anymore. Just get in my car last week while it was rough idling. You'd have had your back realigned. It was crazy. Iron things out before. Yes. The experience itself was fantastic. But 100% do need some smooth... I think they just need to have some agreements with the FAs beforehand with regards to the players. Maybe we need like an esports players union. Car guy at all. I do like cars, but you're going to be like, are you sure about that when I tell you that I drive an '09 Ford Focus? Basically, the way I look at cars is... Oh, go on. Dardan, buddy, not again. Oh, he's a legend. Is Dr. Focus MD? Is there a threat? I'm going to unite the workers of the esports' chat. And, oh no, I mean, my car's been incredibly reliable for the most part. I really do like Fords. Ask you go, oh, I'd 100% go again, Enzo. Even if it was just to be an assistant to Aaron again, right? Because it... No! Why have you forsook me? Oh, chat ain't gonna be our year, is it? Bro's literally... He's back from injury. First game back. He limited to 45. Do you know what, chat? It's my fault. Should have taken him off after 44 minutes. Cheers, Cameron. Oh. Well. Yeah, I blame the ref. If he's broken his ankle and both of our strikers are out with broken bones, we might be cooked. I blame the ref. At least we're winning, I guess. But yeah, no, I actually do quite like cars. I consume a reasonable amount of car content, but it's just... Basically, what I would like to do, were I to be in a position where I just had, not like loads of money, but just like a little bit of fun money that I could spend on something I liked. I'd like to get like a cheapo, shit old BMW Z3 and just like have it as like a project car to just dick about with and learn about cars a little bit, and just to have a really fun car for the summer, basically, like a little Z3 convertible, because I think that would be really fun. That's what I would like to do. Most of my time, I'm just watching Top Dead Center, to be honest. Are you actually taking the piss, FM? Carapici, twisted knee. Cheaper buses. Oh, yeah, no. Buses in this country, I mean, trains are notoriously shit in this country as well, Basil, but buses really aren't. For long-distance travel in this country, there is a few buses that can work in certain ways, but realistically, you're better on the train. There is actually a direct train line as well from Stansted Airport. It's called the Cross Country Line. It goes to Birmingham. Right. You know what? We're winning the game. There's no point in not taking him off here. Bernal's going to come in. We're winning the match, so there's really no point in taking any risks at this stage, is there? You can get Flixbuses, yeah, and like Mega Bus and stuff like that. I think it just depends on what type of travel you're doing. I probably could have kept I just forgot that Eze was like capable of playing number 10. That's part of the reason we signed him. Yes, I think so. You can get... Well, you can't get rail card, obviously, but I mean, I can't either. They have some really weird rail cards in this country. And the other thing is it'll be quick, Basil, because there's... I think you may potentially have to change at Cambridge. I'm not sure. National Express. Yeah, I mean, Pog used to get the National Express sometimes back in the day. But that was when she was living in Birmingham. Oh, Jesus. One of the things... The UK is a bit of a weird one when it comes to like trains, because sometimes you'll be like, well, that seems like quite a long journey, and you look at the price and it's like, really? That's quite cheap, actually. And then there'll be another really short journey and they're like, why is it so expensive? Nice penalty. First train was that. That's mad. Yeah, so Pog's got a few months left on her 26 to 30 rail card. Even though she's 31, she was able to like re-register it at a certain point and still technically counted for it. No, oh, it's direct, is it? I assume it is the cross-country one then, Basil. So it should be like Stansted Airport, because there's two stations at Stansted. Stansted Airport, Audley End, Cambridge North, maybe? I forget. A lot of them stop at Audley End. Just because it's, despite it being in the middle of fucking nowhere, it has Quite a big station. Oh, come on. 4-0? Dennis? Oh, it's beautiful. And Emeka Eze now has his first goal for the club. Who needs strikers? We're 4-0 up. That's glorious. Mentioned a strike last week. That sounds about right. There's usually at least one train strike going on at any given time in the UK. Orderly end. Yeah, it's spelled A-U... You're going to love this. It's spelled A-U-D-L-E-Y. Yes, I do, Jorah. If you do exclamation mark FM26, or... Yeah, I think it is exclamation mark FM26. You should get a... not a download link. That would be crazy. You get a link with a discount attached to it. Maybe I should just make it exclamation mark FM. Peak times, yeah. Well, this is one of the benefits about living here, is trains to Cambridge are absurdly cheap. And are fast. And frequent. So before, when Pog and I were looking to move, we knew we needed to move somewhere near Cambridge so that Pog could commute to work. Obviously, that doesn't matter so much now. But at the time. And so I basically built a spreadsheet using all the different train lines going into Cambridge, how much the tickets cost from those, how long the trains took, and also the frequency of those trains, to try to work out where the best place to live would be based on the train trips. And then I made another list based on the average rents in those different places to find the perfect location.
If you're ever on the train somewhere unfamiliar in the UK, keep an eye on the names of the small towns in between bigger stops. The names are so silly you'll be convinced they're not real.
Price into London, somewhere similar. So price into London from here is about 20 something quid. But it is quick. And you don't it'll be even quicker than you think, because there's almost no stops. It literally goes like here, Cambridge, London. Sometimes Letchworth for some reason. But once you get to Cambridge, it's just like, boom, straight down there. There are some slow ones. You can get 2 trains also run on the left. I guess technically, yes. Not that I'd really thought about that, but yes. An alias command. Is that a thing, Saz? I didn't know that was a thing. Yeah, RIP skin command. Oh, Twitch is doing that weird thing where let me scroll again. That is just a fun game to play, though, if you ever are in England on a train, or anywhere in the UK, frankly, is when you are on a train, try to, because a lot of the time they'll go through these stations, but just try to keep an eye on some of the crazy place names you'll see on trains. It's fantastic. We've won 4 out of 4, and we're 3rd in the league. Morning Fight on Friday. When is the race you're doing, Basil? Oh, I mean, it could be worse. I don't think he's going to miss any Champions League matches, which is crucial. And the fact that we've been able to win 4 in a row without him, it could be a lot worse, given that it is Tristan. I love that we've managed to go 4-0. Where are we, like, XG-wise? I mean, all 3 of us are actually clearly a cut above. That's really good news. Who's scoring? I assume PSG are scoring more than we are. I'll tell you what, I mean, they are, obviously, but we've only conceded 1 goal so far this season. Do we have enough data for Data Hub yet? Just kind of curious about the goalkeeping situation again. Already at 1.71. Who's this lad? Oh, well, they've got the exact... Oh, no, hang on. He's at 1 point... Either way, that's so sick. Oh, Zagreb. Wait, I thought you were doing a run in the UK. That's why you were here. Yeah, no train stations at Wet Wang, sadly. Oh, he's dropped it. Nice. To be honest, just getting ourselves like a nice little... That's a big win as well. Lons were really good last year as well. I wonder if Nice are doing any better this season. Oh, it actually changed. No, they're still mid as hell. Okay. Which team is it that's getting absolutely ripped apart? Oh, was it Lille, wasn't it? Yes, I suspect I am sharp, because the thing is, we don't even know if like custom database setups are going to be viable in 26. For all we know, there's going to be a brand new like way to start saves. But I think one of the first things I'm going to do probably would be the database setup, because then I can test it quickly and get a video out for that straight away. Because that's usually the first thing I do each year, and that will be a way to get back into the content straight away.
Hope
well, Stuart, thank you for the 6 months. Good. God, I hope so too. Flights from London. Really? So it's cheaper for you to fly from London to get to Zagreb than it is for you to actually fly from the country you live in. That is... Actually, actually, I totally understand that, considering that the entire reason that I went to Copenhagen, ironically, the entire reason that some friends and I went to Copenhagen last year was because it was cheaper for us to literally fly to Copenhagen, have a day in Denmark, and fly back the same day than it was for us to go for a day in London. It seems like that's just a universal experience now, isn't it? They've rejected it. No, what do they actually want for him? Are you out of your mind? Hang on a minute. Which airport are you flying out of, Basil, when you're going to Zagreb? Players load a bit. Does it still... You're right, it does, yeah. Men's leagues, women's leagues, database. So that's all the same sort of stuff. I think it's just basically the same thing. We've still got advanced settings and preferences. Do you know what does still irk me slightly? A lot of the things that are most likely in these advanced settings and preferences are the very things that were usually at the bottom of the screen. So it's just this is another one of those there's more clicks type of situations I'm on about. Like, if you're going to have this dead space, why not just put the tick boxes in there like you had before? It's just things like that that feel like unnecessary added clickery just so we can get more pop-ups. I just hope the game isn't full of that kind of stuff. Yeah, Leeds want 80 million for Steiny, which is absolutely insane for a player that wants to leave the club. Stats, you'd be surprised how far out of London that actually is. Again, what is Binder babbling on about? I don't recall ever mistreating him. I feel like the game is literally just laying out rakes for me to step on. And in its defense, I am stepping on them. Just moves the pay rate. Oh, I see. Okay, that's fine then. Same as 24. Oh, that's a good point, actually. Yeah. 54 in 24. Okay, so that's 4 more leagues. What do you reckon? 4 new countries, or like 2 in 1 league, maybe? An R plus. Yeah, it's fairly far away. I used to play golf there. My buddy's mate. My mate's dad used to work at Stansted Airport for Ryanair. Recruitment meeting. What am I doing? Why would I used to... Somebody stopped me. I needed a recruitment meeting. Saudi probably. I've heard things about North African nations, maybe, which would be sick. Because I feel like there's very few European nations that they could really add, right? No offers for gay. Oh. To be fair, as long as I've offered him out, it should be... Oh, well, that's ironic. It's Slavia Prague time. I might actually have a look at their report, just in case. Because it is their first team, and you find players like this guy, Skopek. Not it, really. Lithuania... Egypt would be dope. I would just like to see another African country added natively to the game, right? It feels like if it's going to be somewhere, it's going to be one of the North African nations, like an Egypt, Morocco, Tunisia, Algeria type of nation. Probably Egypt. But that'll be fine. Hajan would bloody love it. It's the only feature he's wanted. Think of all of the Shazleys we could get. No, what is Nougat? What am I doing? Team report new. There we go. Oh, God, imagine if team report scouting doesn't work. That'd be sad times. They licensed them. Oh, true. Do you think they dropped them down a little bit? FM is trying to destroy this. I'm glad I said one more season for this and not like, let's just push it on. Because FM would be like, they'd be trying even harder to destroy us at that point. Where does Egypt rank in like, in order of like, isn't it like top 10 or something crazy? Because it's like, was it 152 or something crazy like that? Maybe not as high as that. It's very high though. 10th. Jesus Christ. Why is it so high? I know that Egypt have had some good play. I mean, maybe I'm just letting the Mo Salah-ness sway me a little bit. Because obviously he's great, but who are Egypt's other like insanely talented players? I know they have some, but 10th does seem a little bit too high. I mean, we've benefited from it massively over the last couple of years in FM with the amount of insane, specifically right backs that I've managed to sign out of Egypt. I want to keep Militic around just because he's going to be useful. Also, did Menno Prinz ever actually say yes to me yet, or is he still dicking about? Because that would be like a nice little final transfer, I suppose. Morocco, yeah, I guess you just need some like... They're more of those like greater than the sum of their parts type of teams, right? 112, 55 nations. Okay. Again, a really solid, passable Premier League player, but not worthy of that kind of youth rating, right? It's going up. Ooh, well, that's him again. Oh, I was kind of hoping we'd have some more information. Oh, you're a bit good, aren't you? Brian Robbles. I was kind of hoping we'd see like another random number 10 kind of guy that we could actually afford. I mean, there's Mark Noble. Maybe. Trezeguet. We've got John West here. Steve, who's now, of course, of the Norwegian parish. Murat Echar. No, this is... I was going to say expensive Belgium, but he's just expensive Frenchman in Belgium instead. Who's played for... Oh, he played for Pushkas. Wow. Probably a loan, right? Hello. Hello, Michael. Yeah, I was kind of hoping they'd give us more information on this dude. Just because... basically, Basil, they're owned by the same company, so the yard is separately. That's like in a bit of the city called Newnham. It's not... It's... everywhere here is like an hour's walk at most. But the one I'm talking about is the rig, which... Oh my god. Ah, yes. Pot 4 Manchester United. My favourite type of pot 4 team, Manchester United. Why do I fucking bother? Oh, dear. But yeah, basically the one I'm on about, Basil the Rig, is in the market square. It's every single day. It just moves around a little bit on certain days. So obviously on Saturdays, the market's a lot more busy. But the days you're here, it's going to be much quieter anyway, just because the big markety stuff doesn't really kick up till Thursday. Right. Okay. Also, pot 3 Lazio. At least we got... Do you know what, weirdly, our pot 2 teams are actually... Oh, then again, Leipzig are actually quite good as well. Do you know what I find funny here, by the way? Manchester United are lower in the coefficients than Crvena Zvezda. See Lamborn! Thank you for the 8 months. Yes, I do, John. To catch you up, basically the plan is beta save is going to be Slavia in the Czech Republic. It was going to be Slavia men and women's team at the same time, but obviously there isn't that availability for us in the beta, which is unfortunate, but we move. And then in the main save is going to be building a nation with Wisła Krakow in Poland, which is really, really cool. Yeah, pot 2 Feyenoord is exciting. We're going to get cooked, aren't we? That's kind of gone under the radar a bit. That not only are Manchester United pot 4 in this save, they are the weakest of the pot 4 teams we'd be actually playing against. Crvena Zvezda are a higher level than they are. Lordy lord. Yeah, I mean, where's the... So we've got Fenerbahce, Feyenoord, Inter and Crvena Zvezda at home. That's 9 points from those guys, has to be. You never know. Choosing that team. The reason which team? If you're talking about Slavia, the reason I chose Slavia is out of spite. Basically... we were talking about beta saves, and I was saying to chat that I hadn't really got one that had tickled my desire yet. And usually when I get an idea in my head, it just sticks and it's there like glue. And we were just talking about random teams that people supported. And I think it was Fry, who's Czech. I was like, you're Czech, Fry, right? Which team do you support? So Fry goes, I'm a Sparta fan. And I'm like, cool, we'll do a Slavia save. And then we just stuck in my head. So the reason we're doing Wisła is because at the time when we were supposed to be doing them, it was supposed to be for the 25 season. And at the time, Wisła were playing in the second tier of Polish football, but had won the Polish Cup. So they were going to be playing in Europe while being in the second tier. So it kind of fit a lot of the requirements for building a nation save, whereby... no, not doing that. They were a team that were in the second tier, which is crucial. But... they also had like a cool story behind them in the fact that they were obviously a relatively big side in Poland in the past and were playing in European football that season too. So it kind of ticks a lot of the boxes basically. But obviously as the season has gone by, since we were able to do that, of course, they're no longer going to be playing in Europe. But on the plus side, not for them, they didn't get promoted to the top flight last season. And also Poland is basically the perfect nation to do building a nation in. I don't think that you could have a better league to do it in. And it's great because it means that next year when people ask me which league is the best league to do building a nation in, I can say this one and actually actively show them why. Obviously, any league you can do it in if you want to dick about with the editor and change all the rules of the league. But if you're talking like pure out-of-the-box enjoyment, that's the way. A Juice Malta. Oh, it's so much better than Malta. Austria is easy mode, yes. But to the point where I feel like it would be not much of a challenge because you get so many good... Like, if I could just take you on a little tour to Poland briefly. Right. I will do the Man United look up in a second. Don't worry, I have seen it. Scared of it. Tell you what, if you're thinking of doing it and stepping in, maybe do Poland alongside us. I'll do what I always do, where I stick the save file up for people, or at least the editor data. So the thing that really helps Poland is that, one, it's an 18-team league, which is good because it means you've got lots of matches to develop players in. You've also got lots of teams that can potentially do stuff, which is great. The Polish league has basically no rules on foreign players. There is one rule that I don't know if it's actually listed here. This. So you do have to have players play a certain number of games the domestic, but you only get a fine if you don't do it. So it's not only like hard-coded stuff that's going to actively stop you. Hungary is also really fun, but we did Hungary, and it's ironic actually that I chose Poland for the first proper go at it that I ever did without knowing any of that information. I just really wanted to manage in Poland. And I'm really looking forward to it. Is it similar to the Romanian league? Well, that's kind of cool. Were they actually... Love this. Man United's key player is literally an Egyptian lad. Abdulrahman Abdelmaneem, and... Like, he's good, don't get me wrong. He's very good. But he's not 200 million good. I feel like our guys could be as good as this guy in a couple of years. He's got 120 caps for Egypt. Holy dog. I love that Martin Kelly is managing him, by the way. That'll be that youth ranking as well. Also, if you missed this last stream, which I suspect some of you did just because it was a Thursday stream and now we're on Sunday and we obviously have slightly different audiences, I have to show you this. Man United sold a player to Lazio. Sorry, not Lazio, Napoli. For £343 million. And he's a man called Dean from Bolton. So there you go. Brookbek Tomelica, yes. There's lots of fun stuff in Poland. You're going to have to forgive my pronunciations, but know that I will be trying a lot. That's the thing. He's not even that good. Like, he's fine, but he's not, like, that good. He's only got 3 England caps, and Napoli paid 350 mil for him. I've never seen a transfer from an AI club go as high as that. Bulgaria. So as far as I know, Bulgaria is still just kind of, well, these guys are the most disappointing team in the history of football. They did at least win. No, they didn't. That was... Oh, was it 2 different cups? Oh, it's the Super Cup. Okay. They didn't win the Super Cup, but they did in fact win the Sesame... They won the Sesame Seed Cup. So there's that. But they do still have the Tycoon, allegedly. They have 50 million in the bank. Have they signed anyone this season? Yes, they have. Oh, dearie me. So yes, they have signed some players this season. They've spent 25 million. They got Rolly Ngoy from Schalke, who's on 24 grand a week. They've got Ken Meerman from... That's just a youngster, actually. Asier from Southampton, 21 grand. Alvaro Oliveira, 21 grand. Jose Arias, 24 grand a week. Another 20 grand player. God, they built an entirely new bloody squad here. Fazenda, 16. That's quite a... actually, he's not very good, is he? Enrico Jimenez, 16 grand. The guy from us, how much are they paying him? Okay, that's not as much, which makes sense because he's crap. Jacobo Ferri, 29 grand a week. He's an American dude. Mateus Baldo. No, their wage bill this year must be even larger, right? Bloody hell. That's wild. Did they get another points deduction? I don't know, actually. We'll have a look in a second, actually. How big a residence? Like 20-odd thousand. It's tiny, Basil. Like, seriously. It's the second smallest city in the UK after St David's in Wales. Because city status was awarded weirdly back in the day. It's because of that massive cathedral, which you could see from like 6 miles away. Oh, speaking of which, I actually went up a little bit of that yesterday, which was really cool. Went to the Stained Glass Window Museum. Some crazy stuff in there as well. Yeah, so they're now spending 14 million more than everybody else. To be like that far ahead. Like the rest of the league's combined wage spending is probably not that much more than them. I mean, these two combined is 32. Okay, they're not... Honestly, if you remove Ludogorets, the rest of the league combined aren't spending as much as... It's wild. What was I going to look? Oh, Celtic. Yeah, I think they probably didn't, but... Funny if they did, actually. They really annoyed me by not getting relegated just because it was... Well, they're third in the league, so I'm guessing they didn't. No points deduction for Celtic this year. Although it's Hamilton that are currently top of the... So we could get 7 winners in 7 years in Scotland, maybe. You never know. Since Dunfermline got the title last year. Visited stained glass window museum inside a giant cathedral. Yeah, I do live in a random novel. Yes, Mjällby are very close to winning it, right? In fact, I believe they could win it today, no? I should be starting Shasley more. I think I'll just say that I will. And then... Because the thing... I'll start him today against Gangomp and see what he's like. But fair play to Mjällby. Mjällby are going to be a very popular save next year, aren't they? Sweden is a very fun league to manage in, to be fair. Just a fun country in general. Hello, Sky. Oh, Celtic. Oh, speaking of Celtic, wow, that's we've summoned Celtic into our existence. Do you know what? We've got Velasquez, Alvarez, Alec Chowie, Tiani, and Aslan, and Vega. I feel like actually a loan spell for Vincent Champion to Celtic to play in that team would be quite funny, honestly. Change do we do? So basically, it's a couple of little tweaks. The main thing that will be changing is stuff to do with the Viswa women's team, just to make sure that they are visible to us and playing in a league that we can see. So that's more just for like stream stuff. So it won't affect your save in any way, but it's more for content. The other change we make to most of the Building a Nation saves is there's a loan tweak. That some leagues, like Norway, have this as default. But basically, you know when you loan a player out, there's the option to say... like can play against parent club. There are some leagues where that is the law, so the players can't be told they're not allowed to play against their parent club. But most leagues don't have that. In actuality, the default is usually that if you loan a player out, they're not allowed to play against you. However, in Building a Nation saves, we tweak the leagues of the rules to make it so that players we loan out can play against us, because otherwise you find yourself in a situation like we had in Ireland where we were coming up against like Sligo Rovers, for example, and their entire starting 11 were on loan from us, meaning that when they played against us, they were playing like greyed out players, and it meant the games were just a bit silly. So we basically forced the teams to be allowed to play against us with our own players, and thus makes it more difficult. Essentially, it's just a slight increase in difficulty mechanic to stop it from getting boring in the league. Particularly as we've got some other strategies this year that we're going to use to try to make the league a bit more interesting, because we're going to do this thing where once we get to the stage of instant resulting play, I mean, if we're even able to do that, which is looking less and less likely, what we're going to do for streams when we get to that stage is chat are going to pick a couple of games each stream that in the league that we are going to watch as like TV matches. So that's going to be cool. Oh. Minus 13. I do love the like random points deductions that you see. Oh wait, Habila got hurt, didn't he? Well, I guess Shazzy was going to have to start anyway then. That is annoying still. Right, let's go 5 for 5. Tristan can't start again, can he? At least Karapici's not hurt. I might try Amika through the middle. He's fast enough, but is Karapici faster? Yeah, I think, honestly, Amika's looks good when he's played off the right, and I'm reticent to switch that. So I might just start Amika in his actual more combined role and get Karapici playing through the middle again, because he has got some goals this year by doing that. Who do I want on the bench? Lorenzo's going to be out for a while. Oh, Novi should be on the bench, really. Is that enough players for the bench? I think so. Yeah, it means we get some fun domestic matches as well. I think we're going to be able to do some really cool shit with the in and out of position tactics. If they work the way I hope they will do, and I've no reason to believe that they won't, I think it should give us a lot more flexibility. I've seen some people complaining about them and saying that they feel it's a step backwards, and I'm just not sure. No, not even sure I agree. Hey, look, I'm going to have a take. I actually disagree with that, and I think it is going to be a massive step forward as far as tactical stuff. I know Aaron was absolutely buzzing about it. Understandably. Actually, it's like I wasn't on the podcast on Thursday because of my tooth or whatnot, but I imagine it was just like, just let Aaron speak because he's the king of this. It's in his name. Yeah, that'll do. Let's go. Yeah, I hope that it's not only going to be a case of... I think it'd be harder to even have a meta. I want the option to be able to play a massively, like, boring... Like, I want to be able to play some proper, like, Catenaccio terrorism football. You know, I want to really be that guy occasionally. I want that to be an option that's actually viable. The other thing I think is going to be really fun is how it will translate into PvP contests. Because I think with in and out possession tactics with showdowns could be incredible. Yeah, absolutely, Boskov. It does. I mean, the fact is, we should, even if we can't instant result, which would be a disaster, we would still be able to holiday through games. It would just be a bit annoying to have to do that. But it's definitely, I think we'll find a way around it, basically. And luckily, it's not something that matters in the early stages of the save in Poland anyway. It's the sort of thing that doesn't really start happening until season 5, 6, 7 anyway. So maybe by then we might see it back, or we might see someone has found a way to add something in that does something similar. Wow, we've got away with that. They're massively there. Overhaul is necessary. Oh, for sure. Massively agree. Well, I mean, the first thing I want to try when I get it is basically build Octotrek, but then have Octotrek in possession and I guess the anti-Octotrek out of possession, just to see what it looks like. I suspect you get punished like crazy because obviously all the players wouldn't be familiar with the roles. Oh, that's nice. Oh, look at the runners. Oh, this is beautiful. Oh, wait. What are they doing? Hold it in the future. That's that too. The great thing about that is that I'll be able to do that immediately because I'll just dump the list in that I already have. And just as long as those players show up, then I'll be able to build the new list. Totally fine. Smithy! Thank you very much for the 50 months. That is dope. Can we get a goal to celebrate with the longest highlight imaginable? Look at this. This highlight is so unbelievably long. Oh, it's such a deserved goal as well. Dennis Anderson, 1-0 again. Come on. Left back out of position to be right back in position. Definitely doable. In fact, I believe that is true because Hadrian mentioned something about that in the stream chat on Friday. Which is like... Oh, it's perfect for someone who likes me. Sorry, someone who likes me. It's perfect for someone who's like me, and maybe someone who likes me. Who knows if that person exists? That can. Sorry, I've completely stopped myself on my own tracks here. Chat. Right, I have to show you something actually. So I was hanging out with Iron Owl yesterday. And he gave me this. Stuff I absolutely need to remember, but will probably forget. Not anymore. Not anymore. I'm a new man. Their goalkeeper is called Jean-Jean. What's his name? Jean... The Gangomp goalkeeper is called Jean-Claude Jean-Jean. Ah, so good they named him twice.
Did you show them?
I'm getting there. Hang on, sorry. We just found a funny name. Is this a nickname? No, it's not a nickname. His name is actually Jean-Claude Jean-Jean. He's JJ Frankie. It's like, we get it, you're French.
JJ Frankie.
JJ. Hey, if anyone's going to set the tone, it's him. You want to put it the other way around, Vatos. The exclamation mark goes at the front. That's amazing. I just got confused because I remember there was a guy that I did change his name earlier in the save, but it's just not him apparently. No worries, man. JJ Claudie JJ. Oh, Christ. That's completely thrown me off. What were we even talking about? Oh, they're all winning. The French version of the thong song, which in a way sounds kind of French by itself. Love to see it. Are you okay? Yeah? You don't know what to do with yourself on a Sunday, do you? Did you put the washing on? You did, okay.
So I tell
A second load has hit the washing machine, chat. Good to know. Veltos, where's that Veltos? Veltos, thank you for the follow. Okay, we do look a bit mid today, but if we beat Gangon, what was that guy's name? Oh, I thought his name was Jackie Minacci. Is also a really good name, just because again he's French. Yeah, I'm going to be coming up with some absolutely horrendous things in and out of possession stuff. How's the work schedule looking? Pog's work schedule consists of hey, we need you to go put a thing on a boat. Can you do that? And she's like, yes, but first I'm going to go to the office and buy supplies. Oh, fuck. That too. And that tries Qatari on the bench. Vibes, not attributes. I mean, why would I save that just from the beta? It's just what I do most of the time anyway. That is really annoying though. Wait, wrong button. Officer Buzz. James and Kathy got Pog a little river boat, like a, what's the best of the
It's a police bear.
A police bear, basically, because Pog is the river police.
No, it's got like, I think it's like from Japan or China.
Yeah, I think so. Right.
It's got a hole in his bum.
We're going to balls this up, aren't we? I can already feel it. It would really depend, Basil, on like scheduling and stuff, as well as my tooth, basically. Oh, hello. Right, come on, Dardan. Square it, please. I beg of you. No, he's going to come back inside. That's fine. I'm feeling back post header here, maybe. Nope. Oh, it's... Oh, no! This feels a little bit like that game last season where we played bottom of the league and just could not score to save our lives. Oh, I hate highlights like that. Right. Shazly's been absolute... God, he is so bad. It's like actually a little bit embarrassing for him. Right, but now in the middle, perhaps. Most of what was two over, actually. But perhaps get... I don't know what it is about Shazly, but he just does seem to be, generally speaking, incapable of having a good performance anymore. To the point where, like, he can complain all he wants about, like, being left out of the team, but he just drops so many 6.3, 6.5s constantly. I think we're going to get a little bit unlucky. I might just throw it on attacking, take a few more risks for this final part of the game, just to see if we can nab a late one. Pain handling today is actually okay. It kind of comes and goes. Like, it flared up really badly on Friday night. Like, really badly. And then a little bit on Saturday morning. But then throughout the day yesterday, it was manageable without pain. It's really strange. I'm just trying to be really careful with it. Great. To be fair, he'd been struggling to learn to play football for a while now. It's... bear in mind, he got a key pass in this game too. Like, a player of this level of quality should not be able to drop these levels of bad performances. I mean, it's basically from here. Last season, he just started to just completely drop the ball. Like 3 assists in 18 games, when before he was sort of contributing a decent amount, but he's just been so average. Not even average, he's like regularly quite bad, and occasionally will have like one good game. That's an unfortunate result for us, really, but without having suitable players, it is tough. Now that we've lost Lorenzo as well, spending all this money and... As in 5-headed goals, cheesy. Jesus Christ. I suppose we were bound to drop some points at some point, but at least we didn't drop points after that absolutely horrendous meeting, because that would have been more concerning to me. And I think this one we just had too many players playing out of position. But it is unfortunate. We do play Stade Rennais next at home, and I think that's our last game before the Champions League, which is not ideal. Shashi just has no right to be this bad. Yeah, so it's Stade Rennais, then it gets a bit tougher. I mean, the fact that you can... It's at least good that you're capable of actually setting it up to do that. I do want to be able to play some more like long ball flick on kind of play, particularly in like lower leagues in 26. That'd be sick. Or was the top 10 town? I guess it's just smaller countries, isn't it? There's a lot of very small places around here. I don't know where like we rank as far as like citizens in terms of cities and towns in the UK, but I imagine it's not probably in like the top 200. It's very small. But I imagine it's a lot smaller than that. There are villages bigger. There aren't, but like... We shouldn't have any... Oh, well, actually, with the Champions League score, we might even be able to dump in a couple of our non-EU guys. To replace him. Replace who? Oh, well, we can't replace him. Like, because we do actually have a player for that role. He's just injured at the moment. Twin Town, we do actually, and ironically, it's a town in Denmark. I believe it's called Ribe. I think. I watched a brilliant video about twin towns the other day, actually. Obviously, it was a bit of Map Men. 68 out of 71. Oh, it moved up. Ribe, that's the one, yeah. Or That's the one it's twinned with. For stream alerts, how do you mean? Well, we do have a Discord, but there should just be like go live notifications that you might. I mean, maybe you've turned them off. Although it depends on what device you've got it on, I suppose. Because the Twitch app usually does send. I mean, I say usually, it doesn't always actually. But like generally speaking, Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. I know that lately it's been a bit fucky just because of like me going to Aberdeen and then obviously my tooth issues. It's been a bit inconsistent, but I'd rather have that there than have that issue in 26, right? But yeah, as for the replacing of Shazly, he's one of these things where if we sold it, you'd have to have interest in order to sell him, and there isn't any. And you're not going to find a player who's got attributes as good as his anyway. The biggest thing for me with Shazly is that he doesn't like big matches at all, and I think that really does cost him. A better backup is needed. Like, yeah, it's cool, but like, which player is that? This is one of these things where it's once again very easy to say you need to sign this player, you need to sign a player, but unless you can point to that player, it becomes very difficult, right? We do have other right backs, but they need to be good and they need to fit our system and they need to be the right requirements as far as non-Eunice. It's not as easy as that. I didn't know you could have them in browser, actually, in fairness. Oh, get him in. When I probably should have. I mean, let's just have a look and see who's. Why did I do that? Yeah, nice simple pot 4 game. And the other thing you've also got the problem of is there's no guarantee they're going to be any better. And we've got. Also, I wish that guy would hurry up and sign the damn contract so we can at least get him in before the Champions League. Let's have a little gander. And Shazly's one hell of a backup to sign. And the other problem is, if you sign more players, you just end up with more unhappy players when they can't start. You're not going to find a better backup than him, attribute-wise, either. Let's see. That's willing to actually be a backup, and not that he is either. 2 today. Sorry, 1 today, Hayden, just because of the F1. Which I was completely unaware of. Until I noticed stream and chat went, what's going on? So, I actually asked this to chat a few weeks ago, Bailey Child, and I can't remember the one that chat came to the conclusion of, but there was a guy. See, this guy's fine, but he's just not as good, is he? And he would cost a fortune. FM. Because we did actually look at some right-back options, but there was nobody that seemed viable that was actually like within our price range. We did look at the wages on most of these guys. There's this guy from Shakhtar, but he's probably nowhere near as good. Max Dowman is probably going to get a lot of lookups for sure, yeah. Who's he wanted by? Man City. Do you know what? His dribbling is garbage, though. Gibraltar Aurora, yeah. Top 2 things. Ooh, have I said them both? I hope you've ticked them off your bingo card. I feel like Dalman will definitely be one we get a lot of lookups for, just because with him being a Premier League based player, there's going to be a lot more sort of that. There'll obviously be a lot of like more obscure wonder kids too. None of which I'll be realistically able to sign anyway. Who is this guy? This is obviously a massive lie, right? I'm guessing it's just because we don't have a lot of scouting knowledge of him. But who on earth is Manisa FK? Waiting for the Natty Cat recruitment stage. How do you mean? I just don't think that anyone we sign on deadline day, unless there's like an obvious option, is going to be better than Shazly attribute-wise. Even if that... And there's no guarantee they'll play any better either, which is the problem. Like, we were thinking about trying to find someone... I mean, maybe there's some personalised instruction I can give to Shazzy that will help him. I'm just not sure what it would be. The recruitment focus, as far as I know, has done absolutely nothing. I guess it must have just... Oh, here it is. So it found 4 players. Oh, that was... Yeah. So the recruitment focus found 4 players... And I'm pretty certain we already knew about all 4 of them because 2 of them were on, one of them was already on my shortlist, and the other 2 we'd already had extensive scouting. A future Wonder Kid win back. There's no point in planning for future Wonder Kid win backs in the final season of the save because we won't have a chance to see them actually be any good. Is there anyone we really want out of these? Can Noah do a job? Probably could actually. Lol. Do you know what? This call me stupid. Feel free to. You're going to anyway. What about Noah Winter? The Japanese guy is too. Well, he's not actually very expensive, but he's also non-EU, so we wouldn't be able to register him in the squad anyway. So he'd just be an absolute disaster. The German guy is not very good, and he's super expensive. This guy, however, is from Liechtenstein and could play there if I was to retrain him. Fuck it. Let's see what we can do with this. Okay, 37 million. Let me give you 25 up front and 15 over 3 seasons. In it though, Francis. You can kind of throw caution to the wind a little bit. Oh my god. Do you know what? That's future Matt's problem. We want a Lichtsteiner. Why the fuck not? He can do the job. Liverpool. Oh, actually, what about Mekawar? He can't tackle to save his life, but on loan. Fuck it. Get Bilal back. Nagalo's one player of the month in the Premier. Oh my god, he's got 6 in 4 for Fulham. I feel like I may have undersold him there. Are they like top of the league or something? They're not. Wow, they've actually only got... Nagalo's got 6 goals in the Premier League for Fulham this season already in 4 games. Fulham scored 11 times. Carachea starts for Tenerife, so he wouldn't come on loan. Okay. Mekawar would be perfect. I'm trying to think how much money we got. Because the problem is the board won't let me put any more money on... Oh, they might not let me sign Winter, actually, because of the wages. Actually, do you know what? He'll go for that. Wait, really, buddy? Come on now. Right, signing on for... No, I can't offer you that. I'll offer your agent a bit more money, though. Come on, it's 5 grand. Oh, for God's sake. Right, okay, appearance fee. I'll make that 50 then. Right, that'll cover it off. There we go. Throw a bit of dough at the agent. If we got Noah Winter and Bilal Mekawar over the line, you don't need it. Ooh, Lazio have made an offer on loan with a potential fee. I hope he chooses us. I could adjust his game time, potentially. Oh, everyone wants a bit of Mekawar. I don't think we get Mekawar, but it'd be nice if we did, just because we've at least used him before. Winter's in. Noah's through the door. Bayern want a bit of Boon Rod. He seems to be under the impression that I was ever actually going to sell him. Luckily, I promised to sell him for £169 million. So Noah Winter is actually ridiculously good. And we've now got a Liechtensteiner for the season. And the first thing I'm going to do is getting him play right back. Because actually, he's very suited for the role. As a wing-back on attack... Let me just shut the door. Pog's doing a bit of vacuuming now. Winter is here, mate. Marking and positioning are absolutely god-awful, in fairness. But it's okay. We're vibing. That's fine. Squad registration. Noah Winter, in you come, lad. If we could get Bilal over the line as well. Oh, do you reckon I should try and sell Shazley? Now that we've actually got someone, just try and bin Shazley out the club entirely. See if anyone would actually take a punt on him. I think he's too expensive for anyone to want to buy him. It would get his wages off the bill. And it would also get us a lot of money that is then filtered back into the club anyway. For a guy that is genuinely not that good. It's a massive undersale. But it's a lower intermediary fee and a higher fee. Fuck it. Because Shazley is on... What is his wage? 46 grand a week, which would give us a bit more wages back. He chose us! Bilal chose us over loads of other teams that I would argue are probably better. Like Lazio, for example. Bilal's in. I say coming home, obviously not coming home because he was a Tenerife lad, but still, he was really good in that Tenerife team. Prinz is joining. In comes Menno. It's the Stevie G effect, exactly. Champions off to Celtic, which is ironic. Bilal's back. He's coming home at Jason, exactly. And he's EU, which is important. Like, he can't tackle for shit, but something about him just used to work in those tactics. To be honest, Kraken, like, once the ball's rolling on these sort of things, you can actually make some moves. I was just reticent because I didn't think it would actually work. Celtic eventually did stay up. They ended up in the playoff game against St Johnstone. They were 2-0 down in the first leg, and then they won the tie 8-2 in the end, which was really disappointing. It would have been very funny. And now, annoyingly, they're like top 3 in the SPL because you only get like one season of these kind of hilarious things. Right, so what are we waiting on the outcome of? Oh, just the Shazly bid, right? Barcelona in offer for... This is going to come out to bite us massively, isn't it? 22 million. We kind of need to just because of the fucking wage budget situation. Oh, tremendous. I mean, the most expensive player in the history of this save is from Bolton, if that helps. Star match request transfers. Oh, gorgeous, Steiny. How much money have I got left? I'd have 50 million if we sold wanted by Everton and Borough, asked to leave, requested. How is he listed for 47 million when he's trying to leave you? Lads, I'll offer you 23. Take it or leave it. Once again, these are your choices. Leeds got relegated as well. So Lashazli is gone. Magdeburger after perverts. Good to see. What do they want then? 28 million. I'll give you 28. I'm not giving you 50 million. You are out of your mind, Leeds. It does seem like AI teams can sometimes be absolutely insanely belligerent when they're relegated like that. Oh, go away. Ugh. The hilarious thing is, right, these are the exact same players that complain when you then don't sell a player when they want to leave. You sort of can't win. And it's shit like that that does kind of irk me. The amount of times that Shazly has threatened to leave the club and I've told him no, and they've all been like, how dare you? You need to let him leave for the good of his career. And now when I sell him on my watch, they're like, how dare you let this player leave? Get over it. Oh, can I kick a chair? Let's kick a chair. I haven't kicked... Oh my god, look at the morale! Oh god. 26 can't come soon enough, mate. The chair kicking was probably unnecessary, but at a certain point you've just got to be like, come on now. It's so stupid. Because it's those exact same players that would have been kicking off had I not sold him when he tried to leave before. It's like, pick one lane. How much has that done to the dynamics? Ironically, not that much. Sometimes you just got to put them in their place. Let's see what Binder's actual morale is like now. Abysmal. Grow up. Insane. I love that. All these positives, but you sell one player that isn't even starting for you. Oh, no. It's always the one you're not in it. Ah, dearie me. It's fine, they'll get over it. Particularly as we just signed Bilal on loan and Noah Winter. You can go as well if you want then. You can go as well if you want then. Because a long ass considering I'm not participating in deadline day, this is a long ass deadline day. So is that all of our business done? It isn't. Oh wait. So the Shazzy money's there. It's still annoying that we're in negative wage budget and I'm not allowed to move any money towards it. I do wish it would like at least allow that. Unfortunately, I do suspect this is the exact type of thing that is not likely to be fixed for 26. I actually think a lot of this sort of stuff is going to be just ported over, basically. It'd be nice if it was, or at least some attention was paid to it, but I haven't seen a lot of stuff regarding that kind of stuff. Bar's just cancelled. The loan deal, the deal I wasn't even going to do has been cancelled. But that's the one. Because it was Shasley and Barnetche that every time they requested to leave, and I would say no, you'd have other players going, but you've got to let them leave. They've got to go on to bigger and better things. But then you sell a player when they're not trying to leave, even though it's the same fucking guy. And they're like, how dare you? Anyway, Garnier doesn't need to be registered. Tucci doesn't need to be registered. Rezic is going to need to be in the team. So's Tiani. I'm trying to think which ones I can remove. John T. Baldy. Oh, I see. Right. Why are you in the squad? I mean, it won't matter anyway because he's homegrown. So even if I take him out, it isn't going to give us more slots. But right, who needs to be in? Garnier doesn't. Tucci doesn't. Rezic and Tiani kind of... John T. Baldy doesn't need to be in the squad. We're not going to use him. Rezic probably doesn't as much these days. But I feel like... Actually, if we've got Elakchawi, Alvarez, Velazquez... Vega's not in the squad. Or do we need Tiani more? Who else can I get rid of? DeMarco Prinz is a squad player. Dennis Unver. All these guys are kind of important to the way we play. It's not like actually, Shasley was a homegrown one, I believe. So that might have cost us a little bit. I love that Amika Eze actually does count as homegrown, which is weird. I mean, who was he? Oh, he was at Stade Rennais back in the day. Yeah, if I unregister Yassine, I'll still be within registration, but it doesn't. If I unregister Yassine, I can't add anyone in to replace him, as far as I can tell, right? Because you still need to leave. Oh, actually, maybe I can. Oh, very well spotted. Really weird decision from my assistant there, but you're absolutely spot on. Yes. So I'm so used to like that not being the case, that when a player is homegrown, you can't take them out because you can't add anyone in. But it's weird that they over-registered those guys. Yeah, well spotted. I think we might see a couple of little kickoffs here, like Milton and people like John T. But that's okay. That's a squad that we can work with. Greek Boost won't care that he's not registered because he can't play until January anyway. Now time to get absolutely annihilated by a pot 4 Manchester. We've spent 134 million. That was so unlike me to actually go. I love that we spent 134 million and I still have 42 million in the bank. I say in the bank. What is our bank looking like? Funny if the board got pissed at me because we're overspending the wage budget. Yet they won't let me move that transfer funds into the wage budget because we could easily cover that off. Right. That's fine. Like, Winter and Mekawar are definitely going to be... It's the final season splurge, but normally, even when I'm trying to do a final season splurge, I can't always find the players to splurge on, but Noah Winter is just fun because he's from Liechtenstein. And he's a really talented footballer. And if absolutely necessary, we could play him as a right-sided winger anyway. So he is going to serve other purposes, not just having to be that sort of backup-y right-back type of thing. And I'm hoping that either he or Bilal are at least able to give us a nice rotation setup with Habila. It's going to take Winter a little while to get used to it. Or maybe not, though. He might be the type of player that could get used to that role like that. So we'll see. He is definitely going to be more for the games that we need like an attacking presence. I don't think I'd be putting him at right-back in like massive games. He's more for the... No longer concerned about... Okay, good. I'm excellent, Owen. How are you, my friend? German League. Look, German League in this save has actually been one of the duller leagues. You'll see that it's mostly just been the occasional little like changes, like Leipzig got one and Bayer Leverkusen won it last year, but it's been pretty much the Bayern domination that you see, generally speaking. The only sort of fun thing in Germany in this save really is the rise of Mainz. They've been quite a fun team to watch in this save because they've won a Conference League. They've been a team that have just kind of slowly but surely been a fun team. They were one of the teams we had earmarked as a potential team to manage later. Weirdly, that never seems to happen in my saves. I almost never see Bayern fall off. I actually feel like I see PSG fall off more often than I see Bayern fall off in FM for whatever reason. Because we can't even really afford to rotate the squad too much for Stade Rennais, but... Then again, getting back into the Champions League this season doesn't matter too much, does it? I mean, we should do it anyway because our squad's just way better now. So we can be rotating for these kind of games, knowing that these Champions League games are what matters the most. Because all that matters for us this year is the Champions League. Well, I'm not getting sacked, obviously, but I think that's unlikely to happen. Tucci set for a move to St. Gallen. What a weird sentence to say. St. Gallen, remember, Swiss side, are believed to be ready to discuss terms on a deal which could be worth 48.5 million. Just the Swiss side dropping 50 million quid. Okay, I know they've got money, but do they really have that kind of money? No, they really don't. They've got a Hungarian manager. I mean, they've won so many leagues in a row, but Christ on a bike. Yeah, he's not going to want to go there. Then again, we have managed to ship off some guys to Switzerland for a huge amount of cash in this save. You say it was money time? Let me check. Yes, it is. It is money time. Go on then. And a meet now. Has anyone else had a weird glitch where it says Trent Alexander-Arnold on the screen when you see the player? Every single time, no matter who it is. See, Nottingham Forest, 77, Alexander-Arnold, it says on the screen. When that's clearly not a Nottingham Forest player called Alexander-Arnold. I've been saying that it's actually Matthias Jensen. But for some reason, mine always just says Forest and then Alexander-Arnold, which makes no sense. But it's Matthias Jensen, and I'll be rejecting him. Sick. Okay, we're back. So weird. Yeah, I think it's obviously just a glitch. Doesn't even play for, no, every player that I've had in the last 24 hours has said Forest and Alexander-Arnold on them. No matter who they play for. Oh, chat, I forgot to mention this. I was in Boots yesterday. Got Jordan Pickford. Finally have an actual goalkeeper that I don't have to get on loan. So I finally... And if I'm going to get one, Pickford's not a bad pick. So I'll absolutely take that. It's just nice to finally get an actual keeper. I nearly ended up with Bayendier in goal for me this weekend, which would have gone brilliantly given that he literally didn't even start for United against Sunderland. It was Lamens they had in goal. Oh, I heard apparently Lamens actually had quite a good game. A snake to spooky. Could be. Pog loves a bit of Halloween. It's always been her dream to have like a Halloween party or something, and now maybe we'll actually do that. Also, Halloween this year will be a year since we knew we were getting this house. I can still remember that Twitch clip. I do sometimes just randomly watch it sometimes because you can hear Pog's footsteps bombing up the stairs and then she just jumps into the room and goes, "We got the house!" It's very sweet. He caught crosses. Are Man United goalkeepers allowed to catch crosses? Like, that seems strangely competent. In the end, thankfully, I was able to get a different lone goalkeeper. I've got Nick Pope. But I damn near ended up with Bayendier. Right, so we're going to rotate for this game. I might even start Noah Winter at right back. Start Winter at right back, Amika at right wing or something. Pog was basically just scraping about for loan. She does bloody love club, though. That was really spooky that I just came up in chat. That's on like a timer. You're right. Maybe he's not been at the club long enough. They haven't beaten the ability to catch crosses out of him yet. Smart. Are we kind of crushing it at that level as well? It's a shame that Son Etienne got promoted. That would have been funny. Right, PSG are just... Good lord. Nobody's catching them, are they? Wait, did the others drop points as well? Oh, Stade Rennais did drop points. The other good thing for us is that considering Lille are now absolute bobbins this year, and they were one of our big rivals for the Champions League places, but they're going to be a non-factor this year because they've got £600 million worth of debt. So they're fire selling their entire team. I wonder how much they actually got in the end. They did get 70... Wait, hang on. You bought a guy for £16 million. Lads, what are you doing? I just love the idea that Lille are in £600 million worth of debt and they're like, yeah, let's just drop £600 million worth of debt, and they're just dropping 16 million players from Newcastle on 93 grand a week. Well, how's the debt looking? Not good. Not good. Dropping all that money on Hannah Waddington, I know. Oh, and here's the fun part. I've just realised this. They've loaned him to Chelsea. Yes, I just realised that. So they spent 16 million on him and have loaned him to Chelsea. Loan with a fee. Chat, how much do you think the fee is? How much do you think Chelsea are paying for this fee? Paying for this loan? It was hidden behind my face cam on the other screen. So they're in debt. They sign a player for 16 million pounds. They've now loaned him out. Chelsea are paying 400 grand. 400 grand. Oh, God. See if we can see his loan contract. Optional future fee of 20 million. Well done, Lille. Well then. Most important thing, and the moral of the story here, chat, is we don't have to worry about them this season. Which should make it easier for us in many ways. Right. I was like, where's he gone? But of course he has gone, hasn't he? So I'm going to pick rotated squad, full rotation. Well, surely not. I don't think we can risk that one. BLS, thank you very much for the 20. That's not the word I'm looking for at all. For the 14 months. Don't know where 20 came from. Wishful thinking, I guess. Thank you so much. That's very, very nice of you. Right. Amika's going to play through the middle. Winter. We'll put Winter at right back. Because we've got other right-sided options like, I guess, Tucci? Szymanski, Novi, Endurum, Elekchawi, Tiani. We'll obviously still put Bastian Garnier in goal. DeMarco and Bernat. This is actually quite a fun team. Is there anyone I'm obviously missing? Against third place roles. We've got Man United midweek. Like, with the fact that our only real focus this year is this season is Champions League. So if we were to drop some points in the league, then it happens. Just pick the unpick positions. Make sure we've got some decent subs at least. I'll put Menno Prince on the bench too, actually. Roles and duties button. On what screen? Oh, there. Pick roles and duties. You know, I've never actually clicked that before. I don't want to do it now, just in case. Let's just copy this over, actually. See what it does. Huh. In all my years of playing Football Manager, I have never once clicked that. Do you know what, right? For building a tactic from scratch in like non-league, that would actually be really useful. Because it has just shuffled some stuff around a little bit. Anyway, either way, that's actually kind of cool. It's not because it works on star ranks. So you're not going to see any roaming playmakers in there, I guess, then, right? How's it even work? A lot of shuffling. But we've actually only conceded 1 goal in the league this season. It just, defensively, I honestly don't know how it works. I think the reason it works on this side is because with the wingback being so pushed up, a lot of the time the AI like to try to play balls into these channels. But weirdly, when we're out of possession, he's sitting slightly deeper and he's able to intercept it so frequently that they just cuts them all off dead. And on this side, when the wingback's overlapping, the ball midfielder is essentially shuffling out wide. That's why it's slightly asymmetric here. And for whatever reason, it just seems to work. It will certainly be useful to start things with Slavic. Bold of you to assume that's going to be in the game. What should just be taken out? Right, so new guys are playing. I could have started Bilal, actually, as well. Either way, that's cool. The thing I like about this tactic the most, actually, isn't even how it defends, because it does defend relatively well. Occasionally, it will go horribly wrong. But it's how it scores goals. It does provide some really nice-looking goals. And it almost kind of has to, because it basically can't just do ball over the top striker, score goal, because the striker doesn't exist. So as a result, you do sometimes get highlights like that, but they always look way better in the build-up, because it's a deep run from midfield that's making that run in the first place. Right. It'd be so fun if this team actually come up with a result, considering the lack of match sharpness. Garnier was on like a 7.0 rating inside a minute there. I mean, if anyone is going to save us in this game, it's going to be him. Pretty much. Like, he's the one guy that I think we can rely on in this match to make something happen for us. Not make something happen, stop things from happening. But at least this way, we'll have a fully fresh side for the Man United game. I'm sort of treating this a bit like a Building a Nation save season, where we would rotate for the entire, for every league game prior to a Champions League match, to just ensure that we've got the best possible chance at, oh, like that! Because Benimara has just tried to murder a Polish man. A poor innocent Polish man in my midfield has been struck down, and we've got a chance here. We're at home against 10 men. This could be intriguing now. This could be a massive bonus if they can take advantage of it. But unfortunately, I think this game's more likely to end 0-0 because of 10-man OP, and they'll, generally speaking, try to shut this game down. But we're definitely going to get some options in the second period, I'd say. They're very, very narrow. Basically, we just need someone to get into the wide areas. And we didn't create any highlights after that. But they're probably going to do that AI thing where they keep switching their tactic around, where it will just keep jumping from one thing to the other, which is really annoying. So we can't really plan for it very well. I wonder if adding an extra attacking body here, and then... Actually, no, I will shuffle that. Yeah. It was the Forest 77 Alexander-Arnold's thing. Yeah, I think it's a weird little glitch caused by whichever service they're getting the player data from. And then I will take off Novi for... Honestly, Barnetche. I've got Yoro so many times lately. I think the last 2 times I've opened a Manny on stream have been Yoro. This might completely break our tactic, but I feel like in this sort of situation, given Barnetche is unlikely to start against Manchester United, I might as well give this a go and throwing another strikerless option in there and just see what happens. Pope is a really good shout, actually. I'm so glad I finally got Pickford at least, so I've got a goalkeeper. I just want more attacking options on the pitch that are still going to cause them some issues. Hello, Franco. Things are good, but they'd be a lot better if we could score a goal against a 10-man Stade Rennais with our second team. If anyone's going to get it, I could see it being Tristan, though. Provided he doesn't get yet another injury. Oh, God. Oh, that was too close. DiMarco's been poor in this second period. They've had a surprising amount of shots for a team that are down to 10 men. Part of me was like, oh, maybe I should just stick a striker on, and normally I would, but I also just feel like I don't want to break the cycle of playing a striker in this save. Average personality type becomes a slacker. Surely that's not possible, right? Like, to go from model citizen to slack as far as personality, surely that would require an absolutely insane turn of events. Oh, please no. Right, come on. Wow. Lads, stop doing that. Actually, I'm going to make us take more risks as well. Fuck it. We've got to try and do something in this game. How's Winter got on? To be fair, this is actually the perfect kind of game for Winter, where he's not going to have to do a lot of defensive work. He's just going to be running forward all the time. Come on, Noah. Ball in. Okay, that's a decision. Right, Noah. Come on, there's so many options in the box. It's blocked. What are we doing? You will see sometimes players' personalities will drop off a little bit. So, oh, no. Surely not. What a save from Garnier. Holy Christ. What a save again. This man is... If we've got any chance of winning the Champions League this season or something, it's going to be because of Bastien Garnier. This guy is an absolute tank in front of goal. Not in front of goal, behind it in a way. He's so unbelievably good at saving chances like that. Well done. No. Oh, fuck off. 10-man OP. Not that he can do much about that. That is such... Oh. What makes this even more annoying is that he literally wins the ball and then just... I hate playing against 10 men in FM. It's so annoying. I mean, it is a weakened side we've got out here, in fairness. So let's get... Just throw them bodies on the pitch now. I think we probably will end up getting a 1-1 draw here, but that's frustrating when you're playing against 10 men for almost the entire game. Yeah, so even a guy, if they lose model citizen, they're still likely to be very close for it. It's just that it requires quite specific attributes. So it's quite difficult to stay without... It's difficult to keep it for very long. I find especially when you sign young players who've got model citizen, it's generally quite difficult for them to keep it for a while. They often get it back as they get older, weirdly. I find you seem to... There we go. Mohamed El Akchawi. He's made up for his mistake. He basically cost us a goal and now he's got the equaliser. That's amazing. Tremendous. Okay. Maybe we can still win this. Even if we have to do it the hard way. I guess it doesn't help that without the 2 absolute beam poles we normally have on for corners. Do you know what? I might actually bring... Have we got one more sub left? No, I don't. I was going to say I could have potentially brought an Axel Alvarez just to see if he could grab us one from a corner or something. Even if we have to win this game dirty. All I want to do is win this game. Like, even if we were to... Basically, even if the game ended now, Garnier still has prevented over a full goal's worth of XG, and even in this game, he's just that good. Szymanski. He's got runners. Loads of them, in fact. They've all run past him. Show the goalkeeper to see what is best at and goal. Hang on. Oh, wait, that's offside, surely. If that is actually going to count. That there is the easiest goal I've ever seen in FM. It's Sochaux 2, Stara 1. What? I mean, it wasn't going in fairness. He did at least wait. What a great run from Binder. But Tristan, that is on the goal line. Literally on the goal line. It's full on David Nugent. Nope.
Matt.
Alice.
Sick yellow, sick red.
Thank you for the 28 months. You join us literally seeing a 1 XG chance. The ball is on the goal line and he's tapped it over. I just don't fuck with mentoring groups. I find that they are... I just don't touch them for the most part. I guess, so what exactly were you looking for, Svilko? I really want to look at the the game analysis after this, just to see how much of a spike that's going to be. If we do get the dub, oh no, this highlight's already started with weird animations, which worries me. Weirdly, that felt like that wasn't going to be a goal. Wait, did he touch that? I think he did, you know. Oh, Garnier, Captain Zeep with the 51 as well. You love to see it, friend. Yeah, the defenders there were just like, hey, walk on through, sir. In the end, the 10 men do get what they deserve, which is the defeat. But my God, we made that hard for ourselves. Let's have a look at Tristan's... Wait, so it went from... So that was there, because that's not... Well, that's 2 shots, isn't it? That's Binder's shot there, which goes from 0.37 to there. So it went 7-4. The game believes that 1 out of 5 times Tristan's missing that. It was a 0.8 XG shot, apparently. Apparently, the ball on the goal line, unopposed, is a 0.8 XG. That means it's only slightly more likely to be scored than a penalty. Where he has 20s. He hasn't got any 20s. He's literally only 21 years old himself. But he's instinctive, apparently. But he does the job. Very well, in fact. Just the idea that that would be missed 1 out of 5 times. If that's getting missed in FM, I think I'm throwing it out the window. God, they really did. That's good, though. That means our entire first team pretty much was allowed a little rest in that game. Some of them played a little bit off the bench. Full to Darwin. I suppose so, yeah. For me, reflexes... Command of area... Communication, reflexes... Oh, sorry. No. Command of area, aerial reach, one-on-ones, and reflexes are like the crucial attributes. Maybe the ball back was falling over. True, but at that point you haven't actually had a shot, have you? Softest corner. Love to see it. Shout out to... Wow, Toulouse are having a terrible time. Either way, that's fun. I remember once I had a passage of play in my Nordic Nomad save where the actual highlight itself accounted for 2.2 XG. It was crazy. A penalty was missed. The ball then went to the, like, just to the left of the goal, but nearly on the goal line. My player then comes along and twats it directly at the post. It then falls into the middle of the box because there was a melee. Someone else shoots it and it hits the goalkeeper, who's now back on his line at this point. Eventually the ball did go into the net, but because of that one passage of play, the game counted it for 2.2 XG. It was crazy. Like, statistically, we should have scored 2.5 times nearly. Amazing. Red card controversy. There was nothing controversial about that. Oh, I didn't realise that Victor Valdez was Stade Rennais manager. Nice. And now we should have a fully fresh side ready for Manchester United. That's pot 4 Manchester United, the 58th lowest, or sorry, the 58th highest team in Europe. I reckon that game alone has probably moved, but not bad actually, but Garnier up into even further here. How's that work? Oh, okay. Apparently the Lorient got... Wow! So Lorient's goalkeeper this year... I mean, last year it was literally was Garnier. Thomas Forrest, Trent. Yeah, I don't know. The fact that it's Trent that's showing up there is even weirder, just because man literally doesn't even play in the Premier League and hasn't done at any stage this season. No, the tactic. I don't know how their tactic would make their goalkeeper better, I suppose. Unless their tactic is done in such a way that teams are just allowed to shoot from distance constantly with low XG chances that they're just getting a lot of. If I had to guess, I suspect the goalkeeper down there is probably... Oh, go away, Jonty. Is most likely the Toulouse goalkeeper. Oh, it's not. It's Jean-Claude Jean-Jean. So where's the Toulouse goalkeeper? Is that him there? No? Liran Sapir is only at minus 2.3. He's at minus 4.6. That's actually quite impressive to be that bad that fast. To be nearly at negative 5 goals against on that when you only played 6 games. Are they supposed to be a lot better than they are then? They're at minus 2 on the points. They're probably just conceding a lot more goals than they should be, right? How many goals have they shipped? Yeah, that'll do it. Somehow they've shipped 17 goals in 6 games. Not in the relegation zone, though. I think 4 of those were to us, weren't they? Oh, no, we only beat them 1. Wow. We drew 1-1 with them. That's horrifying. Paris have not scored a goal. Paris FC have not scored a goal yet this season. But they've only conceded 6. That's so strange. That's nearly weird FM by itself. They have one of the best defences in the league, but haven't scored a single goal. Oh, wild. I think Thierry got sacked from Paris. It's now this guy with a massive hair. Elias Busquet. Or Busquet, I guess. Thierry's kind of... Oh, he resigned, to be fair. To take the... Oh, yeah, he's resigned to take the Norway job. Of course he did, yeah. That makes sense. The real 007. Well, one more game and then we'll see if they get that. What they're doing is they're playing... Maybe they've got a preview of in and out of possession tactics. And maybe all they're doing is just playing the defensive side of them. How long could that surely be? I mean, 6 games without scoring a goal is difficult to do. Just because you're going to have chances at some point, right? Let me just try. I just want to see what their XG expect. Like, how many goals are they expected to have scored this season? I mean, they're not exactly prolific, but they should be doing a little bit better than they are, to be honest. They should be kind of mid. Oh, you're an angry little man today, aren't you? Hadrian, if you want to do the honours. Some people are just sad little cunts, aren't they? It's a shame, because... Deary me. I think someone's just having a bad day. But go shout at the mirror instead, you prick. That's hilarious. That's so rare that we get silly little people like that. Ah, dear. Mod work, I know. It's crazy when mods have to do actually have to do something. This will go echo through the annals of time. How did you know? Yeah. I saw the first one, I was like, weird, but we move. Maybe he is right, yeah. On a Sunday morning. I know. I don't think I've ever been that angry on a Sunday morning. I guess if I had to be them, I probably would be, right? But still. Right, full squad change. Has been locked out his account. Yeah, I thought it was just halves alt. That's true. It is afternoon. That's very true. Let's see. Maybe that was Shazly. He's like, how dare you sell me? It's Binder. Oh, well, it gets us a bit of Wempery practice, I suppose. Right, so Bonace is fit, but is he going to start? Binder, Anderson, Under. Bilal at right back. Do you know what? At least he's fully match fit. He's at least been playing games and stuff for Liverpool, apparently. Key stage 2. As high as key stage 2, Jade. Ooh, you're a generous man. Let's see. You're not fit again yet. You are, though. I like having a 12-man bench. Do I start Winter? No, what am I doing? Why would I start Winter on the right? We've got Dardan. I do need to make sure we've got contingencies for when inevitably he goes off injured. I love that auto mod's like, no, Hayden, you're not allowed to say this. How dare you? And basically, if it was just some random first-time chatter that just came in with like full aggro, aggression, swearing, like insultery, just very odd behaviour. But there you go. Sometimes it's people's first time using a keyboard. The music! You're going down, Martin Kelly. Hey, at least Man United got rid of their £300 million player. It's true. Yeah, my teats, I mean, to be fair, they are spectacular. So I don't blame them there. Oh well. The way I look at it is it's just a little bit of content for a few minutes. Spit, thank you for the follow. I've never actually looked at unban requests ever, just because so rare do people ever get, actual people ever get banned from chat. It's usually just spam bots. Like, we'll maybe like ban 1 to 2 people in an entire game cycle. It's like that. Sucker die teats. So this is pot 4 Man United. 58th ranked in Europe, Manchester United. We are going to lose like 5-0, by the way. We've rested our entire first team, ready for this game. Everyone's perfectly set up for it. Yep, cool. Let the rep rolling begin. Did that deflect off of my defender perfectly into his start? Yeah, exactly. That did deflect off the defender, didn't it? Yep. Straight into Deviled's path. This one's a bit of a write-off anyway, isn't it, really? It's a shame, though. It would just be nice to have... like, just play well. Pass around me. We're not going to... I mean, the problem is, though, in order to win a Champions League, you do have to play teams like this. And we don't have the rep to be able to compete at the moment. But maybe it's the beginning of something great. Maybe this is the start of us actually winning this game 3-1. I'm feeling it. Here we go. Come on, Dennis. He's just going to cut inside and go, oh, that's nice. Dennis is outside. Dennis! We're level at Old Trafford. Dennis Anderson, Norwegian star. Stewie with the 39 months. Take it away, Stream Nana.
Afternoon, Matto and Chatto. Did I just miss out on some wondrous wempery?
You did.
Disappointing. Maybe I'll have to rewind.
You can do that now.
Also, still laughing at half significant pain line from last stream. How's it been so far? Also, wearing my Williams t-shirt today in the absolute injustice of Alex and Carlos DQ from qualifying. Anyway, off to shake and vac the carpet, putting the freshness back in it.
Love to see it. The significant pain line sent me. It was made so much better by the fact that I couldn't read the sub message in advance because it had already scrolled off the screen. It just took me out completely. Oh, hello. It's 2-1. We lead at Old Trafford. Axel Alvarez has scored 3. And this is why he was worth the £6 million. 100%. Oh, shaking the... Yeah, don't you do that when you do vacuuming? You take up your entire carpet and just waft it around the garden for a little bit of the vibes. Toothpen has actually been relatively manageable today, which is nice. I got some of this mouthwash. It's like designed like it's got this. Is it coarse? It's Corsadil, but it's not Corsadil. It's like knockoff Corsadil, but it's got the same like chemical ingredient in it. It is vile. They're like, oh, don't swallow this. I'm like, bitch, why would I swallow this? It's appalling. Okay, we lead at Old Trafford. Come on, lads. Cocaine. I wish. At least that would have a numbing effect. You'd like to think. I don't know. I've never done cocaine. I don't need to. Have you heard me speak? I have a natural supply of it, apparently. Also, I just bent red. Good to know. It's raining in Singapore. That sounds good, though, right? Unless it's too much, and then we don't actually get to watch any cars go around the track because wet tyres like, am I a joke to you? Right. Front line's not doing so good today, but who cares about the front line? Wow, Binder's been genuinely tragic today. So has Bilal, actually. I might actually bring Mohammed on for just some pure defensive buffoonery, perhaps. You're nervous, Jose. Let's get Eric in for a bit. Yeah, wet tires don't exist. I'm not convinced they ever actually made any. Coke stream? No, this is more of a Beppis house, I'm afraid. Speaking of, I was in a cafe in town yesterday I'd never been to before. And on the menu, we were looking at the drinks, and there was a drink on there called San Pelagro. And I was like, what is that? Turns out it was San Pellegrino. But you really have to work your way through it to get there. Come on. Oh, I was just about to twitch it over, just trying to defend this game, because we're currently 4 minutes away from a win at Old Trafford, which would be a huge statement in the Champions League this year. Oh, hang on. It's Bernal. He's never scored a goal for us. Roberto Bernal should have made it 3, honestly. As a day out, no way. Well, maybe they saw me. Not that they would have any clue, obviously. I'd just be that wemp wearing a... What was I wearing yesterday? Christ, I've actually already forgotten. I have no idea. All the kids call it Pelagro. I don't blame them. It's tasty stuff. The Rosa, it was the aranciata flavour I had, which I'm not as big a fan of, to be honest. Oh, Christ. Right, come on. I mean, a draw at Old Trafford would be spectacular as well, but a win is something special. Anderson again. Drop it through. There's runners. It's Eze. It's Dennis Unver, of all people, and he's... No, it's over the bar from Habila. Wait, Habila? When did I put Habila on it right? Did I put When did I do that? And why did I do that? Well, okay. Inferno's just come over for United, and we've got Habila at right wing. I did not realise I'd done that. There isn't really a way I can immediately fix that, so we're just going to have to hope that we can get through this final minute and grab a dub at Old Trafford, which could set us towards actually... Yes, that is a big win. Massively I say undeserved. No, it was undeserved. Like, we didn't deserve to score twice in that game, but we did. Denny, who probably got goal and an assist, right? Yep. Love to see it. That's a huge dub. But it worked for me. Lovely. To be fair, it's pot 4 Man United. We didn't get rep rolled. If anything, they did. No, they're just too good. You might have to, honestly. It's tough to build and start again, but this is why it's so important to see the sort of slow encroachment with the building a nation stuff. We had the same thing happen in Malta. We got too ahead of ourselves, even though we were trying desperately not to. And in the end, what we ended up doing was buying a load of Brazilians and that were like of reasonable quality and just selling them to other teams in our league literally for free. And that was the only way we could really get around it. Have a nap. It might be all right. Sorry, we're going to finish it just before 1 anyway today because of the F1. Because let's be honest, one of the 2 streams during next week is going to end up going for 5 hours anyway because it's just what I do. Get another job in the league. I've always thought that a network save building a nation would actually work really, really well. If you've got like 4 of you managing 4 sides that all start second tier or whatever, because then you're adding 4 new teams towards the very top, you could actually end up with an absolutely goated season. Well, not season. It would just take a very long time because network games just do by default. Least F26 stream. I think it comes out on the day I stream anyway, doesn't it? Yeah. Comes out on the 4th. Which is perfect. So, as it happens, yes. On account of the fact that the game comes out that day. Yeah, I thought it was a bit weird that there's 4 games all on at 2 PM today. I was surprised it wasn't like a Monday night game. Race Cinema. That'd be kind of cool as well, but that, Christ, can you imagine the slowness? Well, that's what we're actually going to do, Alice. Oh, no, sorry, not Network Building a Nation. So, yeah, we are doing a network game, but it's not that. We're going to be doing Lower League England with, like, surprise shirts. 4 5 PM. No, that's just the beta. I think the game drops out at midnight on the day that it comes out. The beta's usually late afternoon, early evening kind of time. Which is actually totally fine as well, because that would be based on what I predict anyway, a Monday evening, which means they'll be ready for a stream on Tuesday. Oh, come on, Axel. Easy network game. Yeah, sorted. Yeah, we're going to be doing non-league with, we're going to get like non-league football shirts to send us non-league shirts at random, and then we manage those teams. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. It's not going to happen. Mostly because they're not in the base game. And I can't imagine non-league shirts have any of their shirts. I felt it was Wembley. Oh, I see. I was going to say the fixtures this weekend were a bit weird. Like, when the 3 o'clock kickoffs started, and I was like, oh, loads of games, and I realised there was like 2 matches. And one of them was Arsenal. Oh, wait, was that the late game? I can't even remember. I suspect that it probably will be the Monday, which gives me a little bit of a chance to get some stuff sorted and ready for stream on Tuesday, which would be ideal, really. The worst case scenario, not the worst case scenario for me, but like the most annoying one would be if it was Tuesday, because then I would just stream basically all day until it comes out, and then we'll just play a little bit in the evening. Any part of the country? Yeah, I think that's just what we're going to try and do. I think it'd be fun. I've never really done a long-term network save before, so I think that'd be kind of a fun one to do over the full year. Right. Do we have time for this? Personal bet, you'll have to see it. Yeah, oh, sorry, the Chelsea-Liverpool game, yeah. That Caicedo goal. When a ball just leaves a player's foot and you're like, that's an absolute thunderbastard. It was just such a lovely strike. And I had him in my club team, which is even better. Lazio. Well, we started with 2 away games in the Champions League. Like, Lazio are a good side, but I reckon we could maybe get something there as well. We've started this season extremely well. 5 wins out of 6 and a rather unfortunate, but no, actually not deserved draw. And then a win at Man United. Like, next stream, oh my god, and then we play Inter. Do you know what? Our likelihood of success in the Champions League this year is heavily going to come down to what kind of position we find ourselves in at the midway stage, because we're almost playing all of our hard games up front. Man United, Lazio away, Inter at home, Leipzig away. Then we finally have a little run where we can play Crvena Zvezda, Fenerbahce and Feyenoord. So if we're in a decent position going into the final 4 games, there's a chance. Yeah, he was very close to actually... I mean, he got his hand on it, didn't he? It just wasn't going to be enough to actually take it over the bar because it was so perfectly struck. Is that 2 weeks in a row now that Liverpool have conceded a goal in like 96th minute or something to lose a game? That touch that Wirtz did as well for the... it was a shot that Salah put wide in the end ultimately, but that little spinny first touch from Wirtz was absolutely outrageous. He doesn't seem to have settled that well, though, but I've not really watched much Liverpool. The only game I think I've actually watched of Liverpool this season was their opener against Bournemouth. I guess it needs time, but I guess any player that comes with such a large price tag is going to be expected to settle and perform immediately. Which is never great. Yeah, I suppose it kind of goes both ways, isn't it? FPL? Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Kingsley as a first name is really solid. He's a good player as well, actually. I guess it depends what you're expecting out of him, but it is such a huge fee, in it. Like that's the problem. So as for the fantasy hockey thing, if you're watching this as a volley, that's fine too. There is 2 different options. I'm probably going to do both. So there's a Discord channel. Obviously, there's the Stick Puck channel in the Discord, which has got the one that Gus Showbiz has set up for us. That's the one that's like normal FPL, where you've just got salary cap. Everyone can have the same players if they wanted to, all right? So we've got a league in there for you to join. I'll get some commands for chat later as well, but that one's when you can join anytime. We're also going to be doing another one, which is one of the ones where you actually have a draft for it. So each player can only be on one roster in that. So if someone gets McDavid, then no one else can have McDavid. There's a channel for that that's just called NHL Fantasy. It's under like the SYC channels in Discord as well. If you are interested in doing that, we're probably going to do the draft tomorrow at some point. We'll decide when once James has had a chance to dick about with some stuff. And yeah, so if you put some, if you're interested in that, register your interest in that Discord channel so we can get an idea of head count. That way James can tailor the league size and everything that's ready for that one too. So there'll be a draft that we'll sort out probably for tomorrow because the season for NHL starts on Tuesday night. So yeah, I just thought I'd clear that up now. ! Discord if you're not already in there. And that information should become clear to you in that one as well. Right. Feels weird stopping an hour earlier, but we don't do it that often, honestly. Is there anyone to raid this afternoon is the question. Oh, Clates is on. Lovely. God, I can't remember the last time I raided Clates. This is tremendous news. Who better to send them over to? So yeah, do hockey things. Enjoy the rest of your day, my friends. Actually do work. It's a Sunday, Sharpie. It's fine. Just vibe it. This is where like, no, Matt, I'm at work right now. It's Monday where I am. So we'll get stuffing into things properly on Tuesday. And yeah, usually ends at 1. well, then we're going to have a double raid for somebody else. Yeah, I realise he normally does, doesn't he? It's just that I'm normally the one that gets raided by him, so I forget. Anyway, yeah, thank you for joining me today, chat. Thank you for the genuinely lovely vibes today. And I'll see you beautiful folks on Tuesday, where hopefully my tooth is in good nick and we can continue